Set up for what should hopefully be a great afternoon here, and we'll go back to Rob and plenty of love puns from Ali, I would imagine.
No, I'm done. I thought you were going to say Mr. Loverman, but that would have been way too much. So let's leave that.
It's 12:15 on a Saturday lunchtime, man.
Yeah, let's leave that right there. The Pirelli Stadium is a picture. It is splashed, drenched in February sunshine. The home kits that Mark is talking about there, they've gone back to the original colours that the club first started in. It is amber and black, but quite unusually the shirt is split half and half vertically down the middle. So right side amber, left side black, black shorts and amber socks. We had a mini tifo display in the west stand, packed with the home fans away to our left-hand side. A banner away to the left there that read, "Turn up, don't tune in." I hope that wasn't a pointed reference to the 5 Live coverage of the game this afternoon. Former England goalkeeper, former West Ham goalkeeper Rob Green alongside me. And Rob, actually, just looking back at the history of Burton Albion, they've never knocked out a top-flight team in the FA Cup, but you actually came here with a Premier League team in the League Cup, and Burton beat you. That was QPR, wasn't it?
Yeah, not even kicked off when you brought it up. Thanks, Ali. Yeah, I was only subbed that day, I'll hasten to add. I've had my own cup shots in my time, but that was one where you felt the intensity of the club. They found the stadium a tricky stadium to play at. It's got the makings of a cup upset, other than the fact that West Ham are in such good form. You look at the Macclesfield, and Gary Bowyer brought it up himself. Macclesfield are up against Crystal Palace, who had their problems, and they really have struggled, and a tired 11. This is a refreshed 11 now for West Ham, and a team that you feel have got the momentum.
Yeah, West Ham's recent form is good. Very nearly beat Manchester United in the Premier League on Tuesday night. Conceded the last-minute equaliser. That was the Benjamin Sesko volley. But they've won 4 of their last 6 games. And actually, people talk about the FA Cup sometimes being a distraction for teams at the wrong end of the Premier League. It was the win in the third round at home against QPR that got this run started.
Yeah, and it was players like Somerville who got goals in there. Tati Castellanos, who they're both on the bench today, but just got that momentum going. We got delayed with the kickoff because there's a hole in the net.
I thought we were waiting for the TV say so. Okay, you're right. Away to our right, Alphonse Areola has one of the assistant referees and one of the Burton Albion ground staff sorting out a hole in the net.
When I say a hole, there's lots of holes in the net, but this one's bigger than all the others.
One that would let a ball through. And in a very rudimentary fashion, it looks like it's just being tied together like a pair of shoelaces. I'll tell you what that does do. It gives us time to get through the 2 teams. Why don't we start with West Ham, because there's 10 changes here from that game against Manchester United on Tuesday. So Mads Hermansson recently has been brought in as the first-team keeper, but Areola starts today. Mavropanos is the only one who remains from Tuesday night. He'll play alongside Max Kilman and 19-year-old Ezra Mayers. He started in the third round against QPR. This is only his second start for the West Ham first team. Kyle Walker-Peters comes in on the right-hand side. Ollie Scarles on the left. He's played plenty of first-team football this season. Sungutu Magassa and Mohamedou Kante. That is a very young central midfield pairing. Kante, 20 years old. This is his first start for West Ham. Front 3, Adama Traore, Callum Wilson and Khyber Lamadrid. I think his signing even on loan in the window for West Ham will have passed quite a lot of people by. 22-year-old Venezuelan winger makes his debut for West Ham. We are underway, 5 Live and BBC Sounds, FA Cup 4th round Saturday. Commentary position really nice and close to this pitch, which has been under a tent most of the week. They were so worried about the rain. Port Vale's not too far away, and their game against Bristol City that was scheduled to take place in the FA Cup today was postponed and will be played in early March. Early attack for Burton Albion. A cross is hoisted in from the right-hand side by Kyron Lofthouse. Walker-Peters has a chance to clear. The clearance is blocked and it goes behind for the West Ham goal kick. The pitch, Rob, grass looks a little bit long and it's slightly heavy this side, so there's a bit of shade on the pitch our side, but it looks okay.
Yeah, better than I think West Ham were expecting, better than Gary Bowyer I think was hoping for.
Yeah,
a long grass hides a lot of sins sometimes with a pitch, but this pitch down in front of us doesn't get a lot of sun, so you'd expect the far side where Adama Traore is, West Ham to go, well, let's go and play over there.
Burton Albion playing from left to right in the first half as we look at it. Tyree Shade, one of the 2 strikers, has already scored 5 goals in the FA Cup this season for Burton Albion. 2 in the 6-0 win against St Albans in the first round, and a hat-trick away to Brackley Town in the second round, so he's one to watch for. Lofthouse heads the ball infield. Kilman's got a battle on his hands there. The flag is up for an offside. Let's give you the Burton Albion team then. Not won in 5 games. Last time out was a 2-2 away to Port Vale. And the other main striker, top scorer this season, Jake Beasley, scored both of those goals for Burton in last weekend. West Ham have taken their free kick. They've got Bradley Collins on loan from Coventry in goal. The ball is dropped here just inside the West Ham half. It is played forward by Magassa. Traore immediately sprints away from a couple of defenders. Walker-Peters is bombing away down the right-hand side to get to a crossfield pass. West Ham are in the claret shirts, white numbers on their backs, white shorts, and claret socks with the blue tops. They played the ball back to the halfway line. Kilman's under a little bit of pressure, and you can see the ball is not running that quickly, that smoothly over the playing surface. Mavropanos miscues. It goes straight out for a throw-in to Burton, and that is on the halfway line on the left as they attack Rob.
Yeah, you gave him his excuse immediately before he kicked it there, Mavropanos, but a nice little break from West Ham. They played it up, and Traore, they know what he can do when he gets turned and faced towards goal, and you're just looking and saying, well, Jack Armour and Revan on that left-hand side, you've got to get tighter, you've got to get in quicker to him than that. But already Burton, we are 3 minutes into the game, they have gone forwards quickly, a lot already.
Ball is inside the Burton half, so they've got Bradley Collins in goal, 3 centre-backs, Udoka, Godwin, Malife, Terence Van Kooten and Jack Armour, who's come in for the injured Alex Hartridge. Ball is headed away by Kilman here for West Ham. It drops inside the West Ham half. Wouldn't quite come down for Ollie Scarles, so he side foots the ball away. Headed forward powerfully up towards Beasley. Laid off here, but Traore is onto that inside the West Ham half. He is caught. Free kick West Ham. Kyron Lofthouse, right-hand side of midfield, although when we watched them warming up, Burton, it looked as though they might even start with the back four, and he's dropping back into the right-back position at the moment. George Evans, JJ McKiernan in central midfield. McKiernan's on loan from Lincoln at the moment. On loan from Wrexham is Sebastian Revan, who's playing on the left-hand side of midfield. 17-year-old Suleiman Krubali, who's impressed this season behind the front two of Beasley and Tyrese Shade. Wilson comes chasing across to the left wing for West Ham. The ball is cleared into the stands by Van Kooten, and that will be a throw for the Premier League team.
Burton will not mind not having the ball. You look at the games that they've won this season in League One, there's not been a lot of them, but they've had less possession in all of those games, and even to the point where they played Cardiff and won 1-0, which is a hell of a win for them. They had 20% possession in that game, so they will not mind not having it. They'll press high, they'll go forwards quick. Beasley's a target, he's an angular, awkward opponent, real fox in a box, scores a lot of goals off crosses, so they know what they're about, Burton.
Areola clears. Traore can't do anything with that. He was mid-air trying to control it on the outside of his right boot. He comes pinging off his heel and goes out for a throw into Burton on the left. So 4.5 minutes in. FA Cup 4th round action today. Plenty of commentaries across 5 Live and Sports Extra. Villa Newcastle at 5:45, which is also on BBC One, will start on Sports Extra because we will have full commentary from Murrayfield for Scotland against England in the Six Nations. Here's Lofthouse, edge of the West Ham box, dummies across, fires one in, that's aimed towards the far post, and West Ham's somehow got a block on that. Scraped away by Mayers, chased down by Godwin Malife, passes it back into his own half, and George Evans had to be alert there from central midfield to get that back and get it to his goalkeeper. Half a chance for Burton.
Yeah, really good chance actually for Tyrese Shade. Scored a lot of goals in the FA Cup, as you were saying, and it's just one that...
Oh, Scarles not enough on the header, and the ball is floated into the penalty area. Lofthouse is down, Burton appealing for a penalty. Our referee Lewis Smith not interested in those claims.
Yeah, a little bit uncertain there, but he does breed the pitch. The directness of Burton Albion does breed that uncertainty. I think it's a day for basics for West Ham, isn't it? Didn't quite get it right there, and then before leaving Tyrese Shade free, I think the ball just came at him a bit quick.
Yeah,
his stab at goal wasn't quite where he wanted it to be.
Throw in Burton, so they're playing in the sunshine over on the far side of the field to us in front of that north stand. This ground holds just under 7,000, and it looks to the naked eye as that we are almost at capacity here, if not full capacity. West Ham have now conceded a free kick, so first chance for Burton with an attacking set piece to get a ball in from the left wing and put that West Ham backline under a bit of pressure. 6 minutes into the game, Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, this is the key for Burton Albion. You're thinking set pieces, thinking deliveries into the box. This has been one of the downfalls for West Ham. You look at how Burton have scored their goals this season, I would hesitate to guess about 80% are from set pieces, so a real threat.
West Ham defensive line, all those claret shirts, round about the penalty spot here, 7, 8 of them standing in a line, with the players in amber and black sort of looking to run into those spaces between the defenders. Areola's bouncing up and down inside his 6-yard area. George Evans delivers, looking for a flick on at the near post. Walker-Peters heads it away, half volleys, well wide of the target, goes behind towards those West Ham fans behind Areola's goal. That will be a goal kick. So we had the plane flying the protest banner behind it ahead of kickoff. I'm also told 15 minutes into this first half, those West Ham fans away to our right are going to be holding up red cards, and the reason they've chosen the 15th minute, 15 years of the current ownership of the club, so that is going to be another protest made by the West Ham fans we're expecting here at Burton this afternoon. Lovely touch by Godwin Malife, ball downfield, took it down on his right thigh, and one movement passes it back to his goalkeeper Bradley Collins. Wrestling match there between Kilman and Beasley. Play on, Burton attacking down the right hand side. Scarles gets a foot in, and the last touch actually came off JJ McKeon, and that will be a throw into West Ham in the left back position. And Gary Bowyer just turns to the fourth official here in front of us, Anthony Backhouse, and has a little chunter.
Yeah, you feel that might not be the last time he gets to hear from Gary Bowyer, because there's a lot of balls going up and a lot of bodies. They do what they do well, is get close together when it goes forward. They've got numbers in there.
Shade looking for his strike partner Beasley, cleared by Scarles, doesn't reach the halfway line, headed forward by Van Kooten. Shade brings that ball down, decides to take another touch himself, heading back towards the halfway line. Here's Godwin Malife into the penalty area. Beasley's down, and the Burton fans and players think he was shoved in the back there as he tried to control the ball on his chest inside the West Ham penalty area. The referee Lewis Smith had a very good view and immediately said no penalty.
Desperately looking for it. There wasn't enough contact in there.
Revan attacking down the left, cross into the near post on the half volley, gathered by Areola. Awkward one, and the keeper dealt with it well. This is early pressure from Burton, 8 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, they're in the ascendancy. They're just playing more direct. They've got the tools to do it. Beasley is awkward there. You're thinking, you know what, you fell over so dramatically. You gave yourself up, really, and so, you know, it's cute. Lewis Smith in there, wise enough to it.
Kilman chips the ball away. Wilson chests it down just short of the halfway line. There's La Madrid looking for Wilson again. Half stopped in his tracks by Lofthouse. Gets a right foot on the ball. West Ham have it. Midway inside the Burton half, over on the left here. Here's 19-year-old Mayers. Passes back into his own half to Max Kilman. Mavropanos has a look to his right and then bobbles the ball to Kilman again. Passes being exchanged by those two centre-backs across the halfway line here, and Burton Albion just stand off them in the sunshine. Kilman on the turn, plays it across to Mavropanos. Now Burton start to press, so West Ham decide to come back to goalkeeper Areola, who's in a very light grey goalkeeping jersey, black shorts and black socks. Playing from midfield is Mohamedou Kante, so the 20-year-old Frenchman making his first start for West Ham. Mavropanos in the right back position, little 1-2 with Magassa. Then from the corner of his own penalty area, Mavropanos goes long. He's looking for Traore. Traore making it very awkward for Armour. Armour standing behind him. Traore holds it up for West Ham, rolls it back down that right-hand touchline to Walker-Peters. Traore is the option again, just ahead of him, draws in a couple of defenders, and West Ham work the ball back to the halfway line.
It's very careful from West Ham and very measured, and you think perhaps a bit too measured. That one ball forward to Traore, all of a sudden, he's up against winning a one-on-one and where he wants to be.
Real opportunity for Adama Traore this afternoon. First start for West Ham, having recently joined from Fulham. Ironic cheers and jeers from the Burton fans because Traore used his pace to get away down the right and then has ballooned the cross behind for a goal kick. And the main body, the hardcore of those Burton fans, the Brewers Union, nickname of the club is the Brewers, away to our left in that corner of the West Stand, and bright yellow streamers that were thrown onto the pitch before the game, just in a heap in front of the advertising hoardings over there. So decent start made by Burton Albion. They are currently in the relegation zone in League One. It's incredibly tight down there. Two teams 1 point below them, including Rotherham, who come here on Tuesday, and four teams 1 point above them. And in the last few seasons, they have been really taking it to the edge, staying in League One by the skin of their teeth. 3 or 4 of the last 5 seasons. Here's Skulls under pressure inside his own half. Manages to bobble a pass here to Kante. Kante has space to work with for West Ham. Mavropanos, not enough on that to find Walker-Peters. Chance now for Burton to attack down the left. Mavropanos makes amends by making a tackle on the corner of his own penalty area. Walker-Peters brings the ball infield. Across it comes to Conte. Conte, pace on that pass to Skulls. Looks like he's overrun that. That's Krubali in with the challenge. And Beasley tries to take up the running for Burton. 17-year-old Krubali, edge of the area. Shade on the turn. Trying to work space for a left-footed strike. That's blocked by Walker-Peters. The ball bounces back to Shade again. Back heel, doesn't come off. Walker-Peters will collect that, say thank you very much. Up it comes to Traore. And he's suddenly moving at full speed. And look at that. Like a lightning bolt through the heart of the Burton midfield. The flag is up for an offside against Callum Wilson. Cross comes in, doesn't matter. Free kick for Burton Albion. Rob Green.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was offside. He might have just drifted, but it's tight and there's no need from Callum Wilson. But as you say, electric from Adama Traore. Burton Albion just can't live with him picking it up 25 yards out. But there, West Ham slow in possession. That's what Burton Albion want. They want to pounce on it. They want to score a goal with only 2 or 3 passes tops. Just get it, just drive at the defence, and that's what they did. That's where the opening from Shade came.
So this, the 12:15 kick-off in the FA Cup 4th round, going around the grounds from 3 o'clock this afternoon. 4 FA Cup 4th round ties, because Port Vale Bristol City has been postponed to a later date because the pitch hasn't been able to cope with all the rainfall this week. 5:45 Villa Newcastle. You can watch it on BBC One. Commentary starts on Sports Extra, because we've got full commentary from Murrayfield of Scotland against England in the Six Nations. We'll take that through to the finish. Then Villa Newcastle will pop up on 5 Live. And we've also got full commentary on Liverpool Brighton at 8 o'clock this evening. The FA Cup highlights 10:25 BBC One. And it started well, this 4th round tie, because Burton are giving not only as good as they get, they've got West Ham under pressure. Foul here by Conte on the 17-year-old Krubali, and Nuno Espirito Santo just a few yards in front of us turns in frustration. He's wrapped up warm, Rob. He's in the shade, bobble hat on. He's got that really sort of tightly crossed arms.
Yep, he looks like it's as cold as it is, if not a little bit more. And when you're a manager and you're giving a message to your players and you're saying, right, okay, be up for the fight, be up for the challenge. You look at your manager and he's huddled up in the corner like that. You're thinking, hold on a minute, are you?
He took Wolves to the semi-finals in 2019. Van Kooten, free kick from deep, headed into the West Ham area, volleyed away by Mavropanos. Magassa with a second volley away for West Ham. Godwin Malife nods it down to the right and starts an overlapping run. West Ham intercept. Trying to dribble forward there is La Madrid, the debutant, the 22-year-old Venezuelan left-footed winger. Godwin Malife goes past him. Low pass into the edge of the box. Lofthouse side-footed pass, cleared away again by West Ham, but Burton Albion keep coming at the moment. To the right is Lofthouse. Lofthouse turns well, but Skulls sticks to the task well for West Ham, gets a foot in. That'll be a throw-in for Burton. Let's check in on the World T20 latest. England against Scotland, being watched by Kevin Howes.
Some scares for England, but they look comfortable now. They only need 153 against Scotland. They're 127 for 4 in the 16th over. Terrific knock from Tom Banton, a half-century. He's struggled in the competition today, but he's 57 off 38 balls. The target 153, England 127 for 4 in the 16th.
Thank you, Kevin. Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Tyrese Shade, the striker, is going to take the long throws for Burton here, Rob.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here, and the sun is dropping. Well, it is dropping now, isn't it? It's past midday.
Yes,
it's dropping.
Yes. You checked yourself there, didn't you?
Directly behind the stand, directly where Tyrese Shade is. I think we've got a stoppage for something going on the stand on the far side.
Yes, I can see some of the Burton staff jogging their way over to the other side of the pitch. So game is getting back underway though. Shade with the long throw, good one into the near post, bounces dangerously and goes behind. Last touch comes off a Burton Albion player. So that would be a goal kick for West Ham. Quarter of an hour played. Burton 0, West Ham 0. And a few games kicking off right now in League 1 and League 2. Reading Wycombe, Stevenage Huddersfield, who are in 5th in League 1, and Barnet Cheltenham. So we'll keep an eye on those scores for you as well. Walking forward with the ball at his feet, the former Wolves defender Max Kilman launches it downfield with his left foot. Headed away, drops it to Walker-Peters, nods it ahead of him looking for Wilson. intercepted, and then a completely miscued pass out from the back by Van Kooten, and that goes out for a throw into West Ham. They take that quickly. Here's Magassa, 22-year-old Frenchman, signed from Monaco in the summer by West Ham. Magassa right on the centre spot here in glorious sunshine, plays the ball across the halfway line, gets it back here from Mavropanos. Kaiba Lamadrid, the Venezuelan, receives it in the inside left channel, but they're not making any dents here, West Ham. In fact, they're going to turn, come back into their own half and go all the way back to goalkeeper Areola.
Yeah, it's too slow. It's too slow from West Ham. They've now got 5 up front against the 5 of Burton Albion. And then you're just passing it amongst the back line. There's no in-between pass. There's nothing there. So you've got to go long. You've got to do something a little bit extensive, and they're not doing that.
And now that is given away by Magassa inside his own half. What can Burton do with this? No, they give the ball away as well. Walker-Peters comes speeding back to intercept. Here's Mavropanos, stops for a second, composes himself, puts his foot on the ball and plays it back to Areola. Areola side foots it to the right, so Mavropanos is able to bring the ball slowly away from the West Ham area, and then a high, steepling, long ball downfield towards Traore. Armour's looking after him. Armour nods the ball out of play for a West Ham throw on the right.
Yeah, but that's better. I mean, it may look a little bit agricultural, a little bit Route 1, but hit a long ball early, get them back pedalling, and all of a sudden you're 5-10 yards from their goal with a throw in. It's been very, very measured and very considered from West Ham.
Throw in, short to Magassa, early cross, block, goes behind for the first West Ham corner of the game. Yeah, those games in League 1 and League 2 underway, no goals as yet. We will keep you updated on those. 5 Live Sport tomorrow, by the way, don't miss this. Early start, 11:30, because Birmingham Leeds in the FA Cup kicks off at midday. Full commentary on that. Grimsby Wolves will start on Sports Extra 2, kicks off at 1:30. Commentary will continue on 5 Live once Birmingham Leeds is done. Then big game in the Scottish Premiership, full commentary 4:30 tomorrow afternoon on Rangers Hearts. 18 minutes into the first half, and you can see the sunshine now is causing problems. I think that's Ollie Scarles over there, about to take the corner for West Ham, and he's looking towards us and right into that sun, and really cannot see a thing. Concentrates on the ball, left-footed delivery, swinging towards the far post, headed away underneath his own bar by the centre-forward Beasley. It drops here to Traore. He's got his back to goal, looking for support from Lamadrid. Tried to pass it to him, knocked it past him, and Traore was quick enough to react and get the ball himself. Lamadrid now down the line to Magassa. Magassa goes down too easily, knows he's not going to get a penalty for that. Looks pleadingly at the referee, but went down pretty feebly there, Rob.
It was brilliant from him to roll his man, and then he just flops on the floor, and you just think I was just embarrassed for him, really.
Flopped on the floor is the perfect description. Walker-Peters dinks a ball to the edge of the area, headed away, drops now nicely here in midfield for Burton, looking to get shade away into the West Ham half, but McKinnon couldn't quite complete the pass. Next break in play. I'm hearing there's been a wicket in the cricket. England chasing 153 to beat Scotland in the World T20. In fact, let's check in now with Kevin Howes.
32 for 5, so it's 21 off 23 balls. Extravagance from Sam Curran, getting down to that one and then getting a top edge on it. Out for 28 off the bowling of Brad Wheel. Scotland haven't given up yet. England 132 for 5 in the 17th, chasing 153.
Goal in League 1, Reading lead Wickham 1-0. Game kicked off at 12:30. Lamadrid is over on the right-hand side here, putting a bit of pressure on the Burton Albion defence. The ball is cleared away by Revan, and that will be a throw into West Ham, and they look to take it quickly. Ball is passed across the midfield. That's a foul on Krubali. Referee's going to play advantage here. 17-year-old for Burton is still down. He's read the play well a couple of times and nipped in and won the ball for Burton. I think Burton might put the ball out themselves. Yeah, Shade decides that his teammate needs attention. Rob Green.
Yeah, it's good. It's good from Burton when the West Ham go square, when they go backwards. Burton are poised, waiting. They've got good shape. They're well organised. Gary Bowley knows what he's doing at this level with these players, and they know when to pounce, and they're doing that well. It's when West Ham go forwards and they're more direct. They've got the physical players in terms of Traore and Lamadrid. When he gets turned, that's when they're causing them problems. It's that in-between moment. They're just a little bit pedestrian.
As the stadium announcer proudly mentioned ahead of kick-off, this is the first time Burton Albion at this stadium have hosted Premier League opposition in the FA Cup. You'll probably remember they played against Manchester United as a non-league team back in 2006. Drew 0-0 at home at the old stadium. Got beaten 5-0 at Old Trafford. But the fact they were able to take that to a replay, make the money from that cup run, basically funded this stadium that we're sitting in today. They have had 4 FA Cup ties against top flight teams in the history of the club. They have lost them all. Back in the 50s against Charlton, in the 80s against Leicester. Here's Lofthouse on the right, getting away from West Ham defenders. Cross comes in, goes past everyone inside that penalty area. So Revan will chase this, keeps it in play on the left-hand side. Armour's making the supporting run. Magassa comes in, makes a strong tackle, and the referee decides that actually is a goal kick rather than a corner. Lost to Manchester United in the replay in 2006, and most recently 2017 went away to Watford in the 3rd round of the FA Cup and lost that one as well. So trying to make history today by trying to get through to the 5th round for the first time ever and beat a top flight team in this competition.
Yeah, they've looked comfortable so far, haven't they? Well, they're quarter way through the game and they're happy with how they're playing, they're happy with the shape and what West Ham have had to offer. I think they're happy with that as well, because they're saying, well, OK, we're confident, we're looking at it now, they're going 4v4 at the back. Every single player is pretty much in the West Ham half, despite West Ham having the ball.
Here's Mayers down the left-hand touchline. Skulls tries to turn it around the corner to La Madrid. Burton have won the ball back. Skulls has gone down. Lofthouse prods it to his right. Shade holds off Conte for West Ham. Few tricks there. Keeps the ball in play on the touchline. Skulls still down, holding the bottom of his left shin. And face buried in the pitch here, so he seems to be in some pain. The ball has now gone out for a West Ham throw, and the referee is just going to check that Ollie Skulls is okay.
Gary Bowyer is down us, and you can virtually hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And Shade did a lovely bit of skill there and flicked it back, tried to flick it back to his teammate. Gary Bowyer absolutely reprimanded him, going, just get it in there, get it in the box, don't mess around. And that's when they've looked good on this right-hand side, is Lofthouse in particular. Those couple of balls in there, that's been the best moments for Burton Albion in the game. There
was an offer of over £1 million for Tyrese Shade from an unnamed championship club in this window. Burton Albion didn't go for it. Jake Beasley, they came in for him, Godwin Malife as well, and the club have decided to hold on to all those players. It does look like it's going to be another fight, tight battle against relegation in League One.
Yeah, it is tight, and the recent games they've had, they've played against big teams at the top, and they've struggled to keep clean sheets, haven't they? But it's that sort of club that you're looking at, how long can we keep our good players? How long can we keep the likes of Shade, and you're looking at the other guys that you mentioned in there. Charlie Webster's another one who's injured. He's saying, well, we've only got them for a short time. Enjoy them, and while we've got them, let's find the next one that we can use.
And I think the argument was, Rob, that they just didn't feel it was enough money, because OK, yes, you might be able to get maybe even 2 or 3 players with that money, but the prices you'll be asked in the window for that, not now, exactly.
Yeah, it's a tough ask. It's a balance for these clubs, because you're there saying, well, what's the financial target against what's the footballing target? And without a club, there's no footballing target.
You're not missing any football at the moment. This is the FA Cup 4th round. You're listening to it on BBC Radio 5 Live. 5 Live Sports Extra 2 and 3, all available on the BBC Sounds app. You've got England-Scotland in the World T20 ongoing on Sports Extra right now. 2 o'clock kickoff in the Six Nations. That'll be on Sports Extra 2. Ireland against Italy. Scotland-England kicks off at 20-5. Full commentary here on 5 Live. Game back underway here at the Pirelli Stadium. Still Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0. We've got 20 minutes left in the first half. Van Kooten happy just to hoist this ball forwards. Mayers let that bounce, went in heavily with the challenge there, has not been penalised. Then Beasley makes the block on the clearance. Gary Bowyer's face as he turned and again looks at the 4th official to say, how on earth have we not got that decision? It's a goal kick for West Ham.
Just because a player falls over, it doesn't mean it's a free kick. I think he went up, shouldered the ball and then fell over. There's no reason to say that has to be a foul.
West Ham start to play out. Kilman to his left to Mayers. Beasley quickly onto Mayers. He just about kept that, won the tackle. Kilman plays the ball carefully into his own penalty area. Areola takes a touch and then clears a high spinning ball down the inside right channel. Traore wins the header. Wilson tries to take hold of it for West Ham. Couldn't control it. Goes out for a throw into Burton by the halfway line on the left. 0-0.
We've barely mentioned Callum Wilson, have we? He's drifted offside, which was tight for that one breakaway from Traore, and then he's been a passenger really pretty much for this whole of this quarter of the game that we've seen so far.
Throw in down the left from Armour. Caught on the knee by Beasley. The ball goes straight up in the air. It's all a bit scruffy this at the moment. Traore can't control it. That gets a big roar from the Burton fans. Comes off his right boot and goes out for a throw-in to the home tee. Lobbed in here towards JJ McKiernan. Back Burton come into their own half. Terence Van Kooten, a Guyanan international in his second season at the club. The goalkeeper Bradley Collins, all in light blue. Long ball downfield. I think we'll see plenty of that. Mayers heads it away for West Ham. Burton were thinking about letting that go out of play. It wouldn't do so. Krubali plays it infield, and then the interception comes from Magassa, and the ball comes flying off his left foot and goes out for a throw into Burton on the right.
It's so frustrating to play against as a team from the Premier League. You look at it and say, they're doing in one pass what we're doing in about 15 or 20, and they just managed to get 4 or 5 players around there, and then all of a sudden you kick it off and you're facing another long throw, and that frustration builds.
First one of these from Tyrese Shade, who is standing in the shade here at the Pirelli Stadium, was really dangerous. He doesn't put much effort there and really gets good distance on that. Oh, well kept in, brilliant by Kilman. Mavropanos, I beg your pardon, comes racing across, kept that ball in play, keepy up, volleyed away on his left foot.
I think that's the best thing I've ever seen him do.
Yes. That will stay in the memory for a long time. Bradley Collins, the Burton keeper, again the long ball down to the edge of the West Ham area. Mayers with the first header. Mavropanos nods this away. Krubali races onto it, caught. Central position, 25 yards from goal. Free kick for Burton. He's impressive.
Yeah, no, not for the first time, is it? You mentioned him before, Ali, and he's just really proactive, on the move, knows where the ball's going to drop, and he's got that natural ability to read the game. He's getting high fives from his teammates, and you're feeling this is a really good opportunity for Burton. It's central, it's a long way out, it's 30 yards plus, isn't it?
Yeah, in fact where he eventually fell was a little bit close to the penalty area. It's now been marched back. Yeah, so 30 yards, central position, 4-man wall for West Ham. Areola's getting that sorted. La Madrid, the debutant, you go there, Sunshine. You can do the draft exclude a bit and lie down on the edge of the box. Sebastian Revan could hit this with his left foot, or it could be George Evans. Tall man plays in central midfield with his right foot. Whistle has blown, and here comes Evans, hits that, takes a deflection off the wall. Areola can't keep it in. Burton Albion win the corner. Burton 0, West Ham 0. Quickly to the cricket. England, Scotland in the World T20. Kevin Howells.
England win. They go level top of their group now with this victory. Comfortable in the end. A 5-wicket victory, getting the runs they needed. 153 in the 19th over. The difference being the variations of England's bowlers, and a terrific knock from Tom Banton of 41 balls, 63 not out. England beat Scotland by 5 wickets.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Kevin. Next up on Sports Extra at half-1, New Zealand, South Africa. That is a high dropping corner at the far post. Kept in play, nodded back across goal. Mavropanos wins an important header for West Ham. La Madrid volleys the ball away with his left foot. Godwin Malife comes running back, couple of touches, and then bobbles it back to his goalkeeper Collins. Revan is down inside the West Ham half, needs attention here. The ball is still in play. Mayers needs to keep this in play so it doesn't go out for a corner. It does well in the end, just flicks it into Beasley, and it goes behind for the goal kick. So we've got another stoppage here in the first half. We're coming up to half an hour played. Rob Green is watching here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and we are watching Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, I think that's his afternoon done. I think something that happened away from the game. I think after the corner, he's just jogging back and went down, signalled over to the bench. I think, looking the amount of movement that's down below us, substitution will be made, because that was innocuous.
Yeah. Another reason John Murray will be disappointed he hasn't made it here today, Rob. I think you and he might have struggled in this commentary position here. As I said to you before the game, it feels more suitable for a sort of Bruce Ball-Nevin combination than a Murray-Green double up. But I don't know if you know this, John is well, I say this very tongue-in-cheek, big fan of American sports and the names of the franchises. And there's a couple of big names. Hey?
Milwaukee?
Why are you saying Milwaukee at me?
The Brewers.
Oh, I see. No, I wasn't thinking that. So there's a couple of figures here today from the world of ice hockey, the NHL, who are connected to the ownership group here. Erik Karlsson and Mats Zuccarello are watching the action today, and Erik Karlsson plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ah, I've heard of them.
Have you?
I hadn't heard of him.
Sounds made up.
No,
sounds made up.
No, they kind of stretched it with the ice hockey teams, didn't they? They've got the American football teams. They've got the the basketball and the baseball teams, and then they say, what players, what animals have we got left that we can pick up?
That's a shame for Sebastian Revan. Big day for Burton Albion and all of these players, and unfortunately he's okay. He's walking off down the tunnel here, but knows he can't continue. And so Toby Civic comes on and moves over to the left-sided centre-back position, and Jack Armour is going to push further forward for Burton down the left. Toby Civic, West Ham fans will remember him because the last time they lost an FA Cup tie to a team from this level, from the third tier of English football, was against AFC Wimbledon, and Civic scored in that game back in 2019. So he is on. He gets to play for Burton in this one.
Yeah, he's left-sided centre-back, slips in, and Armour, who's done that before, left wing-back, he's just there. So it's one that if they'd have started like this, you wouldn't have been really surprised. So it's a natural fit for them.
Yeah, Armour's involved immediately. 1-2 with Beasley. Armour's looking to get onto that ball. Burton still have it. Turn from Shade inside the penalty area. The angle's difficult for him. Gets the right foot shot away. Big deflection. Ball goes spinning up in the air. Beasley challenges here with Kilman. Laid off. Back to Shade. Side-footed effort. And Ariola's down to his right. And makes a pretty comfortable save. That wasn't really travelling, that effort.
No, first shot on target in the game, and was a comfortable save in the end, but the directness of Burton Albion causing problems again.
Yeah, you do feel like the potential of the upset is very much here, the way the first half hour of this game has gone. 32 minutes played now. Offside flag is up against West Ham. That'll be a free kick to Burton inside their own half.
What gear do you reckon West Ham are in at the minute? Not in terms of clothes, but in terms of the speed of their play.
I'm going to say second.
Yeah, it does very much feel like that, and Burton are cranking it up. They sense it.
Free kick for Burton. Inside left channel, 30 yards from goal. West Ham's manager Nuno Espirito Santo throws his arms out wide and turns to grumble at whoever is prepared to listen. Those West Ham subs and coaching staff are completely hidden from our view. They're very close to us, but underneath the roof of the dugout here.
They are currently looking at the floor as Nuno turns to them and gesticulates and shouts and chunters away.
The cavalry is on the bench if this doesn't go West Ham's way as the game progresses. So informed Crescencio Somerville is there, Castellanos as well. Free kick Burton from the left. Evans with his right foot swung in, edge of the 6-yard box, and Areola is able to jump and catch that, races to the edge of his penalty area, wants to release that quickly to his right to Walker-Peters, holds on to it, runs back to the edge of his 6-yard box and then gives it to Kilman.
Yeah, too much of it has been in front of Burton Albion from a West Ham point of view. It's been good from Burton Albion. You don't think they make enough of the set pieces at the moment, because that's going to be their main threat there. It was too close to Areola, too comfortable for him, but it's been too comfortable for Burton.
Mayers just inside the Burton half finds Conte. Tribali breathing down his neck, gets the ball away to Mavropanos. Out to the right it goes to Walker-Peters. He stops, plays it infield to Magassa. His pass is blocked. Out it goes for a throw-in to the Premier League team. West Ham being held 0-0 at League One Burton Albion. 47 places between the two teams in the league ladder. Kilman looking for options, doesn't see much on, so just knocks it high in the air, diagonal ball away to the right, easily nodded down there by Armour, who gets a second chance now to clear with his left foot. Beasley's beaten in the air on the halfway line. Evans steps in to make a tackle, and West Ham get the ball back to Areola.
But again, they didn't win the ball, Burton Albion, but Evans with the pressure immediately from the knockdown, and Beasley's he's awkward, we've said that. You're not going to get a clean header against him. So they know, just go in that area, get there, and they're really making it uncomfortable.
Ball is coming back to Areola again. Tyrese Shea wants to get to him as quickly as he can. Areola has time to clear with his right foot. Conte takes a little nudge there, but passes to Scarles, who tries to get it back to Magassa down the left. Skews the pass out of play for a throw-in to Burton. That is going to be taken right in front of us by Udoka Godwin Malife, who wears number 2 in these amber and black shirts for Burton Albion. This pitch was under a tent for most of the week, but the weather is absolutely stunning today. They even had the sprinklers on before the game, which felt slightly ironic given the amount of rain that has fallen. The heaviest part of the pitch is probably closest to us in the shade, but it's holding up okay at the moment, still 0-0.
Yeah, Burton up on Trent. No surprises, we're down by a river and it is pretty wet everywhere, but the pitch is fine. The fans are happy, and I'll tell you what, I think as this game goes on, they'll start to believe, and little bit by little bit, more and more.
Godwin Malife heads it forward. Mayers turns inside his own penalty area. It's nodded out of play for a goal kick to West Ham. So yeah, the cup run so far for Burton Albion, only their second appearance ever in the fourth round against non-league opposition all the way so far. St Albans they beat 6-0, Brackley Town they won away 3-1, and then 5-0 away to Boreham Wood in the third round. So 14 goals in the 3 games they've played in the competition so far. Top scorers in the competition from the first round onwards. Callum Wilson, edge of the area, curling effort. Goalkeeper Collins didn't even have to dive, just moved his feet well and got across to cover it.
Well, the lack of pace nearly did him. Collins was going for it in the top corner and actually realised that he hadn't really connected with it at all.
Now, as he held onto the ball too long there, the referee's blown the whistle. Callum Wilson applauds, and West Ham are going to get the free kick.
Well, Callum Wilson from the start has been counting the seconds when Bradley Collins has had it in his hands. So he's kind of saying, look, I know it's 8 seconds, you know it's 8 seconds to the ref, make sure it's 8 seconds. And there was one before where he held on to it too long and he got a warning, Collins, and that was 8 seconds on the nose.
Corner, beg your pardon, not free kick, of course it is. Do you know, I've just not seen that happen this season. That is the first time I've seen that happen live, and obviously that's...
Well, we're honest bunch, keepers. We always keep it for 7.5 seconds exactly.
So we've got just over 7 minutes left in the first half. West Ham corner from the left. Scarl's delivery clears everyone. Magassa sensed that, races into position, has the ball just inside the penalty area on the right. Low cross cleared away by Shade. Mayers has got his hand full here, and then it's miscued by Krubali from midfield for Burton. He was looking to get Shade away down the right and just got way too much on the pass. It's gone out for a throw into West Ham.
I mean, the opportunity for Callum Wilson before came because they risked it. They risked losing the ball and they went, we're going to go forwards, and 3 passes later, 3 sharp passes, they're in the box.
West Ham going long, down the right, Mavropanos, and Traore is just going to let this bounce and again get his body in the way of the defender Sibic, who is now on for Burton in this first half. So West Ham have it with Walker-Peters. Played back to the halfway line, Mavropanos. He wants to open play out to the left. He's overhit the pass and knocked it straight out of play for a throw into Burton on the halfway line. 6 minutes left in the first half. Shea was about to release the long throw. Whistle blows because the referee wants to come back a few yards. There's a couple of sarcastic thumbs up from the Burton boss, Gary Bowyer, there.
Well, he's having a little word with the fourth official down here below us, because he's not been getting involved in the stuff he wants he does, but then when the throwing's been taken in the wrong place, he's saying, no, back you come. Yeah. There's a little bit frustration.
Conte, Mahamadou Conte for West Ham, passes it across the face of his own goal. Areola has time to clear. Good layoff from Wilson, first time on the volley, looking for Traore. Back to Wilson in the centre circle. Magassa under a bit of pressure. Passes out to his right to Walker-Peters. Magassa's got someone breathing down his neck there, drops a shoulder, good movement, gliding through the midfield, then trying to thread one through to the Venezuelan Kaiba La Madrid. Here's Magassa again, inside the Burton half. Plays it to Ollie Scarls, whose white shorts have got a big mud splat on the right-hand side. Good feet from Conte in the centre circle, rolls it towards Wilson, lays it off here to Traore. Traore is about 45 yards from goal, goes wide to Walker-Peters, looking for the 1-2 with Conte. Walker-Peters is going to do well to get to that pass. Armour's got it covered, falling backwards, clears with his left foot, throw in for West Ham.
Yeah, better from West Ham, looking forward, just looking, always trying to get that run and say, make that run in front of us, and not many players are. They're doing it in ones, not even 2s and 3s. They've just got to get that movement together, get the combinations. It's better, but just not clicking.
What can West Ham do with the throw? Low, skiddy one from Walker-Peters back to Traore, who stops in front of Armour there, but passes back into midfield. Kilman side foots a ball to Mayers. Mayers does the same and gets it wide, close to the touchline in front of us here to Scarls. It goes back into central midfield, and West Ham slowly working this ball across the field. Mavropanos gives it to Kilman. Beasley senses an opportunity to pressure that for Burton. So does Evans. West Ham played out to the left to Mayers. Pace on that from Mayers. Magassa's shirt being held. Lays the ball off to the edge of the box. Wilson touches it back here to Conte. On the turn is Walker-Peters. West Ham sensing an opportunity. Wide it goes to Traore. First touch, the ball just spins up in the air, but he's one-on-one here with Armour. Into the penalty area he goes. Lays it back to Conte, who's put it out of the ground. Leant back with his right foot and balloons it not only over the crossbar, but over the roof of that West Stand away to our left.
Well, that's one for the rugby later. I think that one, it's an impressive strike because it went such a distance, but just nowhere near the goal. But West Ham having the first real bit of sustained pressure in the game. The past 2 or 3 minutes is the best that they've had in terms of getting close to the Burton goal. It just ended in a little bit of a damp squib.
Do you think that was a slightly risky shirt pull on Magassa there? Because we could see that clearly as he was running through, and I mean, he didn't make too much of it.
It was risky, but also clever because it was on an angle where Lewis Smith, the referee, couldn't see it. So he was through, and he's just feeling Magassa could have been a little bit more selfish, a little bit more confident, just take the shot on.
Burton have won it inside the West Ham half. Brilliant from Evans. Gets away from Magassa, rolls it into the feet here of Beasley, hits it with his right foot. Big shouts for handball. Shot was blocked just inside that West Ham penalty area. Whichever West Ham defender that was, they had their back turned. Right arm was hanging down by his side. No VAR, of course, here at the Pirelli Stadium FA Cup 4th round. No penalty given.
Well, it didn't hit him on the arm, so that's the first problem with the handball. I think referee pointing to his back and saying, well, it hits him on the back. So you can appeal all you like, and he's got the best view in the house.
Throw in, long throw coming, and Tyrese Shade has already caused problems with these. Just having confirmation, we don't have a monitor here, but Rob's got that spot on with the naked eye. The ball has clearly hit him in the back. Long throw from Shade, headed away powerfully by Magassa. The ball bounces twice. Shade controls it. He's closed down by Skulls. The cross hits Skulls and goes out for the throw into Burton. So again, West Ham's defenders know they're going to be tested here because this throw is coming in about 3 yards short of the byline. Not quite as much on that. Into the near post. Flicked on high. Areola jumps and does well. Gets above everyone there. Catches the ball and bowls it out here to Mahamadou Conte, who's speeding up towards the halfway line. Support on the outside from Walker-Peters. Couldn't find him with the pass. Sibic intercepts and sets off the other way down the left in front of all those fans in their amber and black shirts. In the north stand opposite us, Sibic is tackled, and that will be throw-in for Burton Albion. Closing stages of the first half, 5 Live and BBC Sounds in the FA Cup. Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, good energy from Sibic, good energy from Burton, having those long throws, and probably a little bit more comfortable this side because of the sun being where it is. It's one that you can just look as a defender, just stare into the clouds and the blue sky rather than that really awkward side, the other side. But they've been good in this first half, Burton, been comfortable. You feel that they've been in the ascendancy enough to give them encouragement for the second half.
Long throw from Shade, quickly taken. Walker-Peters runs at it, leaps, heads the ball away. McKiernan plays the 1-2 with Shade on the left. La Madrid is in front of him. He's going to try and beat him on the outside. Flicks it infield. Shade receives the return pass. The flag is up for an offside, so West Ham will get the free kick. And I am told Anthony Backhouse's little red digital numbers are going to tell us 4 minutes of added time. Indeed, it does. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. But I think you're right, Rob. I think Gary Bowie will be absolutely delighted with the way his team has gone about this so far.
Yeah, barely had a shot, West Ham. Callum Wilson's tame effort. That balloon from Magassa over the stand is the sum total. I think Nuno just has to say, look, just go out and prove that you're the better side, prove that you're the better players, because if you don't, then we've got important games coming up, and I might have to reconsider my considerations about these games in the Premier League.
Yeah, West Ham at the moment still in the relegation zone, 3 points behind Nottingham Forest, 5 points behind Spurs, who've confirmed Igor Tudor as the manager until the end of the season to try and dig them out of trouble. 6 points behind Leeds, 12 games to go. Next up, Bournemouth at home for West Ham. But yes, the form has been much better in the Premier League recently. Only defeat in the last 6 games. They were 2-0 up at Chelsea and lost the game 3-2. But not finding it easy against League One Burton Albion at the moment. 3 minutes left in the first half. Areola brings the ball with his feet to the edge of his penalty area. Mavropanos is there. Played into midfield to Magassa. Magassa across here to Ezra Mayers, who wears 63 for West Ham. Second start for the club. A few substitute appearances in the Premier League this season. Started in the FA Cup third round win against QPR. Kilman at walking pace inside his own half to Mavropanos. Forward it goes here to Conte. Beasley now runs towards Kilman, who passes it to his right to Mavropanos. Longer one down the middle of the pitch towards Wilson, looking for the layoff here to Traore. Traore's onto the ball now. Can he be dynamic and explosive? Passes quickly to his left to Scarles, crosses blocked by Lofthouse, thuds into the back of his head, goes out for a throw into West Ham. Taken quickly. Here's La Madrid, the Venezuelan. Barely seen the ball in this first half. Conte to Mavropanos in the centre circle. Left-footed pass, measured. La Madrid trying to turn that one round the corner. Had his toes trodden on there. He's down. Slowly picking himself up. Burton have cleared.
Yeah, it feels like when West Ham have got the ball, they look like a team that have never played together before. That's because they haven't. And they're just trying to find their way within the game and work it out.
That's one for Walker-Peters to chase down the right. Gets the cross in first time, looking for Wilson. Headed away. Good defending from Burton Albion. Space to work with here for Jack Armour, the Scot. Left-footed. Meaty pass. Way beyond Shade, who turns and complains that the ball wasn't of better quality late in this first half to give him a chance to run at those West Ham defenders. I think we've got about 90 seconds left in the first half. Playing for a place in the last 16. And as we've said a couple of times, only the second time ever that Burton Albion have played in the fourth round. First time played Eddie Howe's Burnley, Championship as they were then, back in 2011, lost at Turf Moor, having beaten Middlesbrough in the third round that year. Here's Scarles on the left for West Ham. And again, just slices the pass slightly, looking to get La Madrid away down the left, and it's out for a throw-in to Burton. So last minute of the first half. Godwin Malife is holding the FA Cup match ball. Can't use the holders ball anymore now in this season's competition.
No,
Robin's
one-game
gone.
wonder, that.
Yeah, it was a one-game wonder. We've got commentary Monday night from the Moss Rose again. Can Lightning strike twice? Macclesfield of the sixth tier against Premier League Brentford. Chip forward by Evans on the half volley. Beasley will get there for Burton. Controls it with the outside of his right boot. Cleared, but only as far as Krubali. It was an awkward one for him to control. Magassa's taken it off him, looking for the run of Wilson in behind Van Kooten. Goalkeeper Collins, well outside his penalty area. Did well, chested the ball down, clears with his right foot. Evans volleys it out of play, and the referee, Lewis Smith, blows the half-time whistle. And you can hear how the home fans feel about their team's performance in the first half. Standing ovation inside the Pirelli Stadium, enjoying the occasion, enjoying the sunshine, and quite rightly, Rob Green, enjoying the football as well.
Yeah, they've been great. They've managed to play within themselves, within their capabilities, know what they're about, been direct, cause West Ham problems without really cutting them open. West Ham have been slow, been pedestrian in possession, but you have to give Burton credit for that as well, because they've been so organised that they're waiting on that loose ball, and West Ham know it. So it is very much in the balance.
As we know, tie has to be decided today. Extra time and penalties if needs be. Burton 0, West Ham 0 at half-time. Mark.
I think it might be even tighter at Macclesfield, Ali, and that's you, me and Cheery Chops.
Oh, it's Chris Sutton, isn't it?
No.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, that's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Second half on the way then from Burton with Rob and Ali. Just the one goal in the early games in the EFL. It's come at Reading. They lead Wycombe by 1-0. Thanks to Jack Marriott's 14th of the season. It's a day where we have a Scotland-England double-header to come in the Men's Six Nations, the Calcutta Cup, just over at the Men's T20. Kevin Howells.
Yes, 5-wicket victory for England over Scotland. Comfortable enough in the end. 18.2 overs when they got to that 153. It's always needed 153, should I say. They really, to be honest with you, Scotland will be so frustrated. But I suppose you have to give proper credit to England's bowlers. The variations in the end did for them. Richard Berrington, very impressive 49 for Scotland, but the rest really struggled. An almighty collapse from 113 for 3 to 152 all out. So eventually Adil Rashid and Liam Dawson, who actually suffered the hands of Berrington to start off with, they managed eventually to pull that back round, and Rashid got him LBW, and then it all fell apart. Some scares for England in the run chase, despite the fact it was a below par target. In losing both Salt and Butler in the first 2 overs. They also lost in successive overs a little later on the wickets of Bethel and Brooke. But it was the innings in the end of Tom Banton. He struggled a bit in this competition so far, but a not out 63 from him off 41 balls, 4 fours, 3 sixes. Big debate whether Brooke should be batting above him. Well, today that debate may have been ended terrific from Banton. So England, with this 5-wicket victory, join the West Indies at the top of their group on 4 points. Not through yet, still work to be done, but a bit of relief, I think, for Harry Brooke and for England.
Proper heavyweight clash to come.
Yes, there is, and very much looking forward. Though both these teams probably will just look at this match as being a bit of a confidence booster. South Africa, remember, were involved with that double super over against Afghanistan. That really would have brought Afghanistan into the mix as well, and this already is called the group of death. But New Zealand, both, and South Africa, 100% record. The toss has just been taken there. South Africa have chosen to field first. They made a change. New Zealand going with the same 11. So yeah, it is a heavyweight battle, and it certainly will be at one, that both teams will want to take a victory from, to give them, I think, the confidence to go further forward in the competition. But both teams look as if they're all but through anyway.
Sports Extra, if you want to listen to that with the cricket team, say 1:30, that should get underway. During half-time of our first FA Cup match of the afternoon, we'll talk racing, Winter Olympics and Ireland, Italy in the men's Six Nations after Mark Summers in the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
And we'll start with some breaking news in the last few minutes. The Foreign Office has claimed the Russian state killed the opposition leader Alexei Navalny using a poison known as epibatidine, which is developed from a dart frog toxin. The Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has said only the Russian government had the means, motive and opportunity to use the toxin against Alexei Navalny while he was imprisoned in Russia. In other news, Sir Keir Starmer has used his speech at the Munich Security Conference to say that Europe must stand on its own 2 feet. He said this could be achieved by putting an end to petty concerns and building a more European NATO. The Prime Minister also announced the UK would deploy its carrier strike group led by HMS Prince of Wales to the North Atlantic this year. The woman at the centre of the largest rape trial in French history, Gisèle Pellicot, has told the BBC she hopes to visit her ex-husband who assaulted her to get answers from him. 51 men, including Dominique Pellicot, were convicted of rape, attempted rape and sexual assault in 2024. Gisèle Pellicot says confronting her former partner would help her rebuild herself. And the chair of the Commons Public Accounts Committee has accused the outsourcing firm Capita of running a shambles in its handling of the civil service pension scheme. It currently has a backlog of 120,000 cases. Capita says it's bringing in more staff.
5 Live Sports.
The Six Nations.
Rugby's greatest championship.
What a day of the Six Nations it's been.
Today, Ireland face Italy at 2:10 and Scotland take on England at 4:40. And tomorrow, Wales host the holders France at 3:10.
The Rugby Union Weekly podcast will be daily throughout the tournament with all the best insight and analysis from the biggest names in the game.
The Six Nations.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Goalless between Burton and West Ham in the FA Cup in the early EFL games. Reading 1, Wycombe 0 is the only game to have a goal in it. Games called off in Scotland today. Dunfermline against Partick in the Championship. And then in League 2, the games at Dumbarton, at Elgin and at Stirling Albion. They have all gone. Let's look ahead to our day's racing. The feature race will be the Betfair Ascot Chase. So we've got John Bond against Pic Dory, Henderson against Nichols. Darren Owen will be there for us.
Yes, Mark, and the score in this particular race is Nichols 6, Henderson 4. Nicky Henderson will be sending out the hot favourite today, John Bon, who has been the brilliant winner of the last two runnings of the Clarence House Chase here on the Royal Heath. And Pic D'Orhy for Team Nichols bids to win today's race for the third time on the bounce. Away from the big two there, Edwardstone would be third in the market, 12-year-old, who has got some creditable form, but it's really about John Bon and Pic D'Orhy.
What else have you got today?
Oh, today we've got a nice supporting card here at Ascot. We've got the Reynolds Novices Chase, small field there with the Duke's Box Kid, the short price favourite. There's a wide open handicap chase, the Swindley Chase at 3 o'clock. Gipco, Joyeux Machin and Montregard, the leading lights. And elsewhere, 4 Grand National entrants will be strutting their stuff at Haydock Park, with the Lucinda Russell and the Michael Scudamore train Mayertown topping the bill in that particular race. Alexi, alive outside of the Champion Hurdle, will bid to become the winner of the Kingwell Hurdle this afternoon at Wincanton, bidding to beat course specialist Rubo. And finally, there's a small matter of a race in Saudi Arabia today, Mark, worth over £7 million to the winner. The world's richest horse race, with the Japanese trained Breeders' Cup winner Forever Young bidding to win the race for the second year on the bounce.
7 million to the winner? That's not the pot.
No, that's not the pot, I assure you. It's nearly $7.5 million to the winner.
Crikey. Thank you very much, Darren. Back with him throughout the afternoon at Ascot. Jack Marius has got his second of the afternoon, 15 for the season, and on the stroke of half-time, Reading lead Wycombe by 2-0. If you missed it, Britain got gold at the Winters last night. Matt Weston in the skeleton. Plenty going on today. I tell you what, Maz, I've got the men's giant slalom on the screen here. The conditions look filthy.
Yeah, it's like the women's half-pipe and snowboard final the other night. Everybody falling all over the place. It's really difficult to judge the conditions. Also watching the curling at the moment as well. GB's women's curlers with their first win on the board after 2 defeats in the round-robin stage. They got that win this morning, 7-6 over the world champions Canada. Certainly unexpected, but definitely welcome. Just underway in their 4th match after 2 wins and a defeat so far. A Team Mowat in the men's comp. They are playing Czechia, hoping for a better start in the first end than they managed yesterday against Italy when they conceded 4 points. And later, looking to put that 4th place finish in the slopestyle final behind her. GB's Kirsty Muir goes again in qualifying for the free ski Big Air. That gets underway at about 6:30 UK time.
The Winter Olympics coverage currently on BBC One and on the iPlayer. 2 matches in the men's Six Nations today. Scotland, England at 4:40. We'll go there shortly. Full commentary here on 5 Live. Ireland, Italy will be on Sports Extra 2. James Burridge will keep us across this one. And you wonder, and it seems very strange asking this, because you certainly wouldn't have asked it a couple of years ago, I wonder how nervous Ireland are ahead of this.
It's going to be fascinating, Mark, isn't it? Yes, I think there has been much soul-searching this week in Ireland. There have been no holds-barred meetings, plenty of honesty. And Andy Farrell needs his players to stand up and deliver. He's made 6 changes. There's no messing about. Josh van der Veer, Jacob Stockdale, Tommy O'Brien, Cian Prendergast, all dropped. In come Ulsterwing Robert Balakoon. He is quick. He could be the pace that Ireland are looking for. And Cormac Isachukwu in the back row, making their Six Nations debuts. Jarrison Gibson Park, he is benched. So Craig Casey partner Sam Prendergast, and Farrell sticking by Prendergast as well, which I think is a fascinating call. As for Italy, well, they've never won a Six Nations game in Dublin, but they arrive buoyant after that win over Scotland. Defensively last week, they were ferocious, particularly in those dying minutes. Their set piece as well could really be the difference, Mark. It was outstanding against the Scots. There have been, and here is the caveat, there have been several full storms in the past. They are missing 2 key players in Brex and Capowozzo. Maybe it's a question of belief for Italy. Can they pull off another Six Nations scalp? Well, the game kicks off at 2:10. This is possibly their best ever chance.
Thank you very much, James. Sports Extra 2, if you want to listen to that. Our correspondent Chris Jones already at Murrayfield ahead of the 4:40 kick-off there. It would, Irish fans won't like me for saying this, Chris. It'd be good for the tournament, wouldn't it,
Well,
if Italy won that?
I think Italy's resurgence has been amazing for the tournament. You can't forget they lost for 7 years in a row. From 2015 to 2022, they lost every single year, every single match. And now under Gonzalo Casado, who's really flying under the radar as an international head coach, they've won 4 of the last 8, but they have been against Scotland and against Wales. If they were to take a scalp in Dublin, it would be absolutely huge. And we talk a bit about where Irish rugby is at the moment, where Scottish rugby is, where Welsh rugby is. And if those 3 or certainly 2 or one of those 3 are on the wane, it would be brilliant if Italy were continuing to improve.
The promotion relegation chat has gone away, hasn't it? Since Italy didn't become the worst team
from Wales. Certainly from Wales.
They've got very quiet, as your dad mentioned it recently.
No. I mean, but this is the thing, and anyone who didn't question Italy's place in the tournament, I don't think they're telling the truth. If 7 years of straight defeats and everyone said, no, it's absolutely brilliant, they've got to keep going. So what they were obviously doing, Italy, and we know they were doing, and Conor O'Shea was the head coach but sort of had more of a strategic role as well when he was in Italy. They were plotting behind the scenes, putting money into their provincial game, making sure the pathways were intact, improving their 20s, improving the player pipeline. That's what Wales have to look. It could be barren and bleak for Wales in the short term. They've just got to make sure that in this time of adversity, they are building something so they can emerge like Italy have done.
I'll be fascinated what the atmosphere is like at Murrayfield today, given some of the well, it's been vitriolic at times, hasn't it? The vitriol that's been aimed at Gregor Townsend.
Yeah, and I think it's just a very frustrated Scottish rugby fan base. And, if you look at Townsend's regime in its entirety, they've pulled off some amazing wins, particularly in Paris, in Wales, and of course, notably time and time again in this fixture, the Calcutta Cup. His win percentage is good compared to other Scotland coaches. It's just the way they've not been able to kick on. They've not been able to get into that top 3 of the Six Nations regularly. They've not been able to be competing for the title, even going into the final couple of weekends, let alone the final weekend. And I think Rome was so deflating for the Scottish rugby fan base because they thought the team was past that point. They thought the team was able to deliver in tough places like Rome, but still make sure that come week 2, come week 3, they were right in the hunt. They can get back into it. They're just going to have to do some special things now, including beating a rampant England team, including beating a rampant French team, and going to win in Dublin, something they've not done in 16 years. So if they are going to recover, it does have to start today. And even though Scotland fans, I think, are a little bit past the point of going, it's all about the Calcutta Cup and England, goodness me, it would still be a huge boost to Scottish rugby if they won today, ahead of going to a very winnable game in Cardiff.
Thank you, Chris. More from Chris and Matt and Johnny, Beattie and Chris Ashton a little bit later on here on 5 Live. Full commentary from 4:40. Back to Burton, goalless at the break. Rob and Ali.
Thank you, Mark. Just about ready to go in the second half. West Ham will kick us off. Nuno Espirito Santo had them out a couple of minutes before Burton Albion, who probably had the better of the 4th round tie so far. 0-0 at half-time. I think this time we are waiting for the say-so of the host broadcaster to get this second half underway. So let's run you through those 2 teams again very quickly. Burton Albion, 21st in League One, have Bradley Collins in goal, Udoka Godwin Malife, Terence Van Kooten, and it's Toby Sibic who had to come on for Sebastian Revan in the first half. That's pushed Jack Armour onto the left-hand side of midfield. Kyron Lofthouse on the right, George Evans and JJ McKinnon in central midfield, the 17-year-old Suleiman Krubali, and the front 2 of Jake Beasley and Tyree Shade. 10 changes for West Ham today from the 1-1 draw against Manchester United on Tuesday. Konstantinos Mavropanos, the only West Ham player to keep their place in the starting lineup for this one. Second half is underway. The ball is high in the air inside the Burton half. They're defending the goal away to our right with the West Ham fans behind it in the second half, playing in these very fetching half and half amber and black shirts. That's something to do with the brewing tradition of the town as well. I think it's bitter and mild. That's the idea of the...
like Chappers?
Very good. Magassa. That is a good pass to La Madrid, who's speeding forward, the Venezuelan for West Ham on his debut, slightly off balance, stumbling on the edge of the penalty area. Holds onto the ball here, but has run out of space eventually. Away it goes to Scarles on the left. So Areola in goal, Mavropanos, Kilman, 19-year-old Ezra Mayers, the 3 centre-backs, Walker-Peters and Ollie Scarles on the flanks, Magassa, Conte, Mohamedou Conte, the 20-year-old Frenchman in central midfield, alongside Sunguto Magassa, Traore, La Madrid and Callum Wilson as West Ham's starting 11. The goalkeeper is Areola, back between the sticks for now. Hasn't been the first choice for the last couple of Premier League games. Mads Hermansson not involved at all today, actually. So Finlay Herrick, the 20-year-old, is West Ham's goalkeeper replacement on the bench. Minute or so into the second half. Sun is still shining. Lovely pale blue skies above. Here's Mavropanos. Low pass up towards Traore. Holds off a couple of challenges. Little roulette spin on the halfway line. Bit of magic from Traore. Still going, weaving his way through the Burton midfield. Goes wide here to Scarles. Run being made forward by Magassa. Scarles is going to use that as a decoy. Holds onto it. Plays back to Mayers. Mayers strokes the ball to Kilman. Kilman to Mavropanos. And the attacking move, built by the bit of Traore's skill of beating a man, has lost momentum. Mayers down the left here towards Scarles. Scarles, first touch gave it away. There was a foul in there, but the referee quite rightly has played advantage to Burton Albion. Tyree Shea gets away down the right. Cross comes in. McKinnon's trying to get on the end of it. And it's cleared by Mavropanos. Important touch inside the West Ham area.
Yeah, lively start from West Ham, and then that little slack bit of play and nearly pounced on, and Burton Albion got as far as West Ham did in 2 passes as they managed in about 25. But Adama Traore's just had a little change up of position. He's come more central, and that's allowed other players to be a bit more free. But more importantly, he's getting him on the ball. He looks the most likely for West Ham.
Yeah, so exciting whenever he does have the ball at his feet. Such a handful for defenders. Longer ball over the top here, looking for the run of La Madrid. Sibic hooks it away over his right shoulder. A couple of players bump into each other and the ball runs to McKiernan. Lays it off here to Armour. Armour with a high ball downfield. Mavropanos nods it forward to Walker-Peters, flicks it into the midfield to Magassa, gets his head up, finds Traore, who bobbles it back to him, just short of the halfway line here. Magassa again, down the channel there to La Madrid. Traore's in the centre circle, receives it, quickly moves it on here to Ezra Mayers. Mayers ball into the edge of the area. Van Kooten this time leans into a header, gets it away for Burton Albion. Early stages of the second half. 4 fourth-round ties kicking off at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be going around the grounds, goals as they go in, as Van Kooten's come across here to the left-hand side of his defence, and Burton have got this ball away for now. So Burnley-Mansfield, that's Premier League against League One, kicks off at 3. Manchester City against Salford, Norwich, West Brom and Southampton, Leicester. Your fourth-round ties kicking off at 3 this afternoon. Chelsea and Wrexham went through to the 5th round last night. Cross comes in from Traore on the right, hanging one, volleyed back into the area towards Wilson, cleared. Kilman side foots a pass here to Conte. Scarles is there in support wide on the left hand side, and West Ham work it around the field. They're coming to the right here towards our commentary position in the main stand. Mavropanos back to Kilman. Kilman just had to pick up the pace a little there to get to that ball first. Forward it goes to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters knocks it infield across the halfway line to Magassa. On to Conte. Conte turns back into his own half. And the recycling job starts again. Here's Mavropanos. Now Traore is wide on the right here. Walker-Peters doesn't play it to him. Goes centrally to Magassa. La Madrid. Magassa runs round him. Takes that short pass in his stride. Wide to the left to Scarles. Early cross. Blocked. Scarles gets another chance, nods it down to Magassa, who gives it back to Scarles again. He's right on the corner of that Burton penalty area. La Madrid is involved again for West Ham, and they come back out to Mayers. And now Conte side foots a left-footed pass across the Burton half. Lots of West Ham possession in the early stages of the second half, still 0-0 in the tie. Conte's low cross, easily dealt with at the near post by Van Kooten. To Armour on the left. Armour's under a bit of pressure, has lost it there. So West Ham have won it. Attacking position on the right. Traore crosses early with his left foot towards the far post, headed away by Godwin Malife. Falls to La Madrid. His initial flick forward is blocked. Burton Albion get the ball clear. Rob Green.
Yeah, sustained pressure from West Ham, and it's good, and it's more intent. I think, talking of intent, the ball, when it gets to Magassa and Traore, the intention to go forwards, the intention to really attack, steps up. Magassa just momentarily knew where the overload is. He instinctively knows where it is. It's whether he can get the ball in that opportunity.
Good atmosphere here at the Pirelli Stadium. Tight cup tie as well. Burton Albion in the 4th round here for only the 2nd time in their history. 0-0. against Premier League West Ham. Mavropanos brings the ball out from deep, floats a pass across his own half to Mayers. Plenty of space to work with there. Speeds forward 10 yards, then stops in his tracks. Finds Conte. There are the two central midfielders, the Frenchman that Rob is talking about. And again, intent to go forward. Magassa slides a good pass into the feet of Wilson, into the area. Holds off the defender. Godwin Malife does his job, and Wilson can't even get the shot away. The ball just gets away from him and goes behind for a goal kick. Half a chance.
Yeah,
there.
half a yard, wasn't it? He did well defensively because there was half a yard for Callum Wilson, and you just feel the crowd just go silent for a second because Magassa, he's starting to dictate, isn't he? He's starting to tick. He knows that it's going to have to go through him because so much of it in the first half was in front of Burton Albion.
It was Burton Albion under Nigel Clough back in 2019 that got all the way through to the semi-finals of the League Cup, ran into Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. First leg away from home, lost 9-0. I came here to do the second leg, Rob, and Pep Guardiola rather naughtily put out quite a strong team for City. Traore onto a ball for West Ham, edge of the area, tees himself up for a right-footed shot, well blocked. Chance for Burton Albion to bring it away down the left. McKinnon's trying to use his pace. Mavropanos is there, passes it forward quickly to Traore down the right-hand side. Defender breathing down his neck is Sibic. Traore holds him off, eventually topples to the ground, gets the pass back to Mavropanos, who in turn goes back to Areola. So yes, Manchester City won the second leg here 1-0. Aguero scored.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a bit out of order, that.
I remember 9-0. No, I'm going full strength.
Yeah.
All right, Pep.
This is 0-0, and this is FA Cup fourth round. The former England goalkeeper Rob Green here, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. FA Cup, Calcutta Cup, Saturday afternoon. Scotland-England in full from Murrayfield, kicks off at 4:40. That's why Villa-Newcastle commentary in the FA Cup will start on Sports Extra this evening. You can also watch that game on BBC One. There's Magassa to Mayers to Scarles. Passing is a bit zippier in the second half from West Ham. Kilman outside of his left foot to Mayers, just inside his own half here. Wide to Scarles again, back to Mayers. Mayers infield to Magassa. Saw Koulibaly coming, turns away from him. That's a definite foul. Shirt tug pullback, free kick West Ham.
Yeah, it's a yellow card as well, but he's got away with that. But Magassa again, I think he knows now he's better than them in terms of ability on the ball. Go and prove it. He's all of a sudden demanding the ball, wanting it in there.
Conte's taking encouragement from that as well. So is La Madrid, the 22-year-old Venezuelan who's on loan at West Ham from Deportivo La Guaira. Here's Traore, bit of skill, takes him past Sibic into the area. There's the cut back towards the far post, not behind, for the corner to West Ham. Van Kooten in the right place at the right time. Scarles was closing in to try and stick it home.
Yeah, really important interception. Bundled across, but again, it was Magassa with a no-look pass. Looked to play it out to the wide player, but then slipped it into Traore. That bought him that half a yard because they weren't expecting it. He's starting to dictate West Ham. West Ham are starting to dictate the game.
West Ham fans baying for a goal here. 0-0 against League One Burton Albion. Scarles, an away swinger. Mavropanos tries to get a left boot on that at the near post. Touch from the defender, takes it behind for another corner to West Ham. The ground is decked out in the amber and black colours of Burton Albion. You can see the treetops and industrial chimneys beyond the low roofs as another corner comes into the near post. Conte trying to get on the end of that one. Another corner for West Ham, third in a row.
He's not managed to get it above the near post man. The pitch is patchy at best at times in the corners, and I think he's struggling over there.
See what Scarles can do with this one. Both arms in the air, runs at the ball, bit more on that. Header from Mavropanos straight at the keeper. And Bradley Collins makes the save, runs to the edge of the box. West Ham player got in his way, / tried to block him as he went to clear the ball. Whistle has blown. That is actually going to be a free kick for Burton Albion.
Yeah, good motion, good action from West Ham, a good ball in, and Mavropanos looked really comfortable charging in and leaping and heading that, but it's straight at Collins. But you feel like they've had more intent and more purpose in this second half than the whole of the first half, really.
6,514 in the Pirelli Stadium this afternoon. Real occasion for Burton Albion, and the team doing the club and the fans proud so far. Traore volleys a pass away to his left. Ball goes loose. Here's Armour in the centre circle for Burton. The 17-year-old Krubali back to Armour, threads one through to Shade. He's got Mavropanos behind him, takes him away to the left. Walker-Peters steps in to help out. Armour is there, might have got a nudge over. Referee's close by. He's giving that the other way for a handball against Armour, who fell on the ball, thinking he won the free kick.
Well, we said in the first half, didn't we, if you fall over, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a foul. I think that falls into that bracket, and Alphonse Areola's managed to nick about 10 yards here because that foul was on the goal line, and he's about in line with the penalty spot now.
Officials don't seem too bothered about that. Areola clears with his right foot, long clearance downfield. Sibic's off balance, heads it away. Traore can't bring it under control. Evans with a hurried clearance, blocked by Traore at close range. Krubali comes in to try and win it. It's got a bit scrappy in there, and Evans wins the next tackle. It goes out for a West Ham throw.
Yeah, Alphonse Areola, I think it's only the second time he's touched the ball in half, but there, went long from a free kick. They've played short and played neat, tidy football, but very slow and pedestrian football in the first half.
Walker-Peters with the throw onto the chest of Wilson, gets the cross in from the right, and Cooten is able to clear, but only as far as Walker-Peters, level with the penalty spot on the right, looks to go on the outside, drags it back, crosses in with the left foot, headed straight up in the air by Van Cooten. Krubali tries to flick it away with his back to goal. Great turn by Beasley. Passes it here to McKiernan. Going down the left-hand side is Shade, and Shade is able to kick this ball in play just on the left-hand side. Looks to take Mavropanos on for pace. Goes outside him, gets the cross into the near post, cleared to the edge of the box, and Magassa hurriedly hooks it away with his right foot. And listen to the reaction that attack has got from the home fans.
Yeah, it feels like a cup tie all of a sudden. Burton on the break. West Ham controlling.
Take the throw quickly. Evans lays it off to Armour. Armour's cross. Walker-Peters leaps. Did he block it with the hand? It's only going to be given as a corner. Burton Albion won't mind that. The free kick would have been up from the byline, just outside the penalty area, but attacking set piece to come if they can get themselves in front.
Yeah, and you're feeling that they'll need to, but attacking their fans with a set piece as the majority of their goals they've scored so far this season from it. And as we mentioned in the first half, that sun dipping, making it really awkward for all the defenders in there.
Burton Albion have withstood some early pressure in this second half. Now a chance to apply some pressure to West Ham's defence. The corner will come in from the left, in front of that packed West stand behind Areola's goal. Play to the edge of the area to Shade. Lamadrid is right in front of him. Shade tries to take it past him. Lamadrid blocks that flick and then keeps the ball back to Scarles. Scarles clears with his left foot. Out of play that goes. Throw into Burton on the left, on the halfway line. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0.
We have a really good opportunity to put a corner into the sun, ask a question, and play it short and lose it within a pass. It's poor from Burton Albion.
Burton 0, West Ham 0. I know BBC Radio London were having problems with their line in the first half, so if you are listening to us on BBC Radio London this afternoon, thank you for your company. 5 Live and BBC Sounds with the FA Cup coverage here. Beasley is caught. 2 players having a wild swing at the ball there. Both missed, but it was Magassa who made contact with Beasley. And again, Burton have a chance here to put a decent ball into the West Ham penalty area. Free kick in the inside left channel, about 35 yards from goal.
Yeah, you've got the feeling they're not going to waste this one. They're not going to play it short. They're going to ask a question at least, and it's just an honest attempt from Magassa to play the ball. Just got their second. Beasley just nicking it. But after all that West Ham pressure, start the second half, it's Burton that you're feeling, just with the crowd, just with the atmosphere. They're asking the questions now.
Could this be the moment for Burton Albion? Never been in the 5th round of the FA Cup. This is only the 2nd time they've ever been in the 4th round of this great competition. Still 0-0 against West Ham, half an hour to play. Evans with the free kick, in it comes. That's not good delivery. Headed away by Walker-Peters, easily dealt with. Evans passes back here to Armour, whipped away to the right with his left foot. Mayers blocks that, controlled here by Godwin Malife. Rob Green's got his imaginary offside flag up. Assistant referee follows suit. Rob Green ahead of the game as always. Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, they've got the yellow flags, and I think with all this amber advertising, all the sponsors are in amber and black, which is brilliant for the effect of the ground and the feeling, but it just doesn't help once his flag's up in front of a yellow sign.
Yeah. Cambridge United colours, they remind me of, the amber and black as well. Areola with his right foot. Traore, acrobatic control of the ball inside the Burton half. La Madrid under pressure from Krubali. Magassa helps out, wins a tackle. Conte tries to get it out quickly to Walker-Peters on the right. Gary Bowyer applauds JJ McKeon in there, who saw the danger, got a touch on the ball, and it's gone out for a throw into West Ham. So half an hour left. If it is 0-0 after the 90 minutes, no replays of course, and then it's extra time and potential penalty shootout. West Ham won their third round tie at home against QPR in extra time by 2-1. Forward ball from Kilman. Magassa has the whole view of the pitch in front of him here from just inside the Burton half, goes for the diagonal, cut out by Armour, knocked behind for the West Ham corner.
Yeah, he looks like a really good player, doesn't he, when he's all of a sudden Nuno went in and gave him a proverbial kick up the backside at half time, but he's come out a different player all of a sudden, playing incisive passes, aggressive balls, looking like a real quality midfielder.
In terms of the main attacking players on the bench for West Ham, if they are looking for that crucial goal, Somerville is here, Castellanos is on the bench too. Corner will come in from the right. Skulls with the in-swinger, high spinning ball, headed up in the air, overhead kick attempt from Wilson, blocked, and behind it goes for another West Ham corner.
Yeah, went for the spectacular. It took a long time for it to come down, and I think it's fortunate because it got blocked, because I'm not sure it would have reached the goal. It wasn't the greatest of contacts, was it?
Last I looked, Reading 2, Wickham 0 in League One. That game kicked off at 12:30, going round the grounds from 3 o'clock this afternoon. 4 FA Cup fourth round ties featuring there. Here comes the latest West Ham corner. Skulls with the away swinger. Mavropanos with the volley miscue, bounces wide, well wide. Goal kick for Burton Albion. Reading 2, Wickham 1, still Stevenage 0, Huddersfield 0, and Barnet 0, Cheltenham 0. Goal kick for Burton Albion. Their goalkeeper Bradley Collins is on loan from Coventry. In that two-legged League Cup semi-final I mentioned back in 2019, he was on loan here at Burton from Chelsea, and unfortunately for him, shipped those 9 goals. I'm sure not all his fault, obviously. The challenge was clearly just too great. Well, too easy to blame the keepers, isn't it, Rob, I think?
Well, just by mentioning it, his insinuations there.
It can't be a nice feeling, though, Rob, to turn around 9 times and pick the ball out.
Never happened. Never happened to me. 6, yes. That was the limit.
You drew the line at 6.
Well, I just pleaded to the opposition to stop.
Godwin Malife takes the throw midway inside the West Ham half. Conte tries to intercept. A whole host of bodies around the ball. Burton have won it back with Shade. Tyrese Shade, in his first season here, gets that cross in from the right. Godwin Malife joined the club from Eastleigh in the summer, so he was playing non-league football last season. Has looked a real threat again here today. 10 goals so far this season. Jake Beasley has 12. One of those two just hoping for a chance to make a real name for themselves and put Burton Albion into the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time in their history.
Yeah, it needs a goal, doesn't it? You feel like the game needs something. West Ham have had the upper hand in this second half, and nearly 20 minutes in, and you're not really talking about any shots on target, any fantastic saves headed from Mavropanos, but just to raise the stakes a bit, it needs a goal.
Walker-Peters, curling ball with his left foot. Wilson chasing that down the channel, up against Sibic, shoulder to shoulder. Wilson's won the battle, down by the byline, tackled by Sibic, and last touch came off Callum Wilson. That is going to be a goal kick for Burton Albion.
Yeah, really good tackle, really good physical battle between the two. Just had a fraction of a second, Callum Wilson, to slide the ball across the 6-yard box, chose not to do it, and the chance had gone. You just feel in just moments when they do go forwards, when they do go quickly, they've got the opportunity.
3 times winners of the FA Cup, West Ham, 1964, 1975, famously 1980 with Trevor Brookings' stooping header. Last second division team to win the FA Cup when they beat Arsenal that year. Finalists in 2006. Since then, quarterfinals twice. 2011 against Stoke. I think Rob played in that game. 2016 against Manchester United.
We turned up with half our kit.
Did you?
Yep. Kitman forgot the kit.
Okay, La Madrid I think was caught late there. Referees either going to, no, he's just going to play on. That's not even playing advantage. Didn't think that was a challenge. Right, I'm going to ask a question in a second about how that was resolved, but let's see what West Ham can do with this. Kilman to Mayers. Mayers looking for the run of Conte. Gets to that ball first ahead of Van Kooten. Crosses, blocked by Van Kooten. Corner for West Ham. So half the kit, what did he do?
Sports shop.
Really?
Panic buy, shin pads, boots, socks, shorts.
Wow.
Sounds like more than half the kit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Most of the kit.
Wow.
I saved a penalty and we still lost.
And Stoke went all the way to the final, didn't they? And lost to Manchester City. Yaya Toure scored the winner. We're midway through the second half. 5 Live in BBC Sounds. Another West Ham corner. Skulls, deep one towards the far post. Might fall to Mavropanos. Sticks out a right boot. Ball is loose inside the box. West Ham can't get the shot on goal. Traore has a hit. Wilson has a shot. That's blocked as well. So many amber and black shirts in the way. Wilson tries to cross on the turn, and Krubali blocks that at close range, throwing for West Ham.
Yeah, just the amount of numbers that were there in the way. I think there was more shots in that 3 seconds than we've had in the whole game. It's a really good opportunity for West Ham, feeling just to get something, a toe poke on target. Could have gone anywhere.
That kit mishap reminds me of the Ryder Cup story from 2010, which when I get a second I'll remind you of that one as well, in case you've forgotten. That was Corey Pavin's US team at Celtic Manor when it was very, very wet indeed, and they got the waterproofs all wrong and they weren't waterproof, and the US team ended up in the merchandise tent with all the punters having to buy gear to stay dry on the golf course.
Yeah, one thing if you're playing away from home as the US, bring waterproof clothing.
In Wales. Midway through the second half. 5 Live BBC Sounds, BBC Radio London. Still Burton 0, West Ham 0. Still very little between the two teams. West Ham better with the ball in the second half, but still in terms of creating that golden opportunity to try and get themselves ahead, they've not been able to do that. Mavropanos handles Beasley there. Beasley's all sharp angles. He's like one of those Quentin Blake sort of cartoons, all points and fine lines. Here's Shade, left-hand side. Magassa is back, tackles Shade, keeps the ball in play down by the byline, slices it away with his right foot, throw into Burton Albion, 0-0.
Yeah, I think both teams, now with 22 minutes to go, both teams are going to look towards the bench at some point for something, aren't they? There's not been a lot between the two teams. Looks like maybe Burton are going first. Conversations going on down below.
Throw in Burton Albion, level with the West Ham penalty area. And that was a long, shrill blast from Lewis Smith. Not happy with something there. Oh, right, a couple of yards they'd stolen. Armour takes the throw into McKiernan. Very muddy patch of the pitch on that touchline there. Does well, Armour, to get the cross in from tight spot there. Mavropanos meets it with a meaty volley, clears it out for another throw into Burton.
They just tried to do the footballing thing by having a throw and getting the cross in. Now reverting, going, let's just go back to the long throw. We can guarantee a service there.
Tyrese Shade will take this throw for Burton Albion. Can they get themselves in front in this tie? In towards the near post, flicked on, headed away to the edge of the box. Krubali thought about hitting that. McKinnon just scoops it straight up in the air. Mavropanos watched that very carefully onto his right boot. Slight mix-up between a couple of the Burton players there, but they've managed to get the ball back. Armour plays it to the left to Shade. Shade brings it up to the corner of the box. He's got La Madrid in front of him. Evans plays it to Lofthouse, who's popped up on the left here. Back to Evans, 25 yards out. Right-footed cross into the far post. That was dangerous, but Beasley with his back to goal gets a left shin on it, and the ball spins away to the left-back position for West Ham. And Ollie Skulls is able to bring this away at a gentle pace, stops and plays back to Mayers behind him.
Yeah, good ball in, but one player in the box for Burton Albion. Had territorial advantage, but no one willing to make the runs. You're just feeling whether that's tiredness setting in, people not charging into the box.
Freddie Potts about to come on for West Ham. Changes coming for Burton Albion too. Kegs Chauke has been out with an ankle injury recently, but has started most of the games in League One this season, getting ready to come on. Callum Wilson hits one first time, tipped over the bar. Collins did well, got two hands to it. Diagonal ball dropping over Wilson's left shoulder. You knew straight away he was going to hit it, met it well, but pretty much straight at the keeper. It's gone behind for the corner.
Yeah, good shot, good save, but do it quick, do it fast. Don't think about what you're doing, just do it. And Callum Wilson gets an opportunity. He's not had a lot this afternoon.
Andy Cannon on loan from Wrexham, coming back from a knee injury, waiting to come on for Burton Albion too. But before the changes get made, well, certainly the Burton ones, because they're defending the corner, we might have the West Ham change before the corner here. Yeah, numbers have gone up. So Freddie Potts will come on, and Kaiber Lamadrid, the Venezuelan winger, his debut for West Ham is over. And Nuno Espirito Santo goes over, gives him a little pat on the back and says, well done, young man.
Not much to report from that debut, was it?
No.
The game sort of passed him by a bit, but Freddie Potts is a midfielder more than an attacker in there, so we see what shape they'll come up with.
Corner comes in from the right, hanging just underneath the crossbar, flicked over the bar with the left paw of Bradley Collins. Didn't want to take a risk there, might have been dropping onto the roof of the net, but wisely just knocked it over for another corner to West Ham. That corner count in the second half is really building. Now Potts is on and is immediately going to take this corner. So first strike of the ball for young Freddie Potts will be the set piece. Kilman right on the goal line there. Delivery from Potts, headed away by Beasley, edge of the box. Krubali got there first for Burton. Anywhere will do, clears. Here's Potts again from wide on the left. Pace on that cross. Headed away by Godwin Malife. Walker-Peters nods it back towards the edge of the area. Mavropanos now is underneath this one. Heads it back into the centre circle to Mayers. 27 minutes gone now in the second half. So extra time is fast approaching here. Still Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0 in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Four ties kicking off at 3 o'clock. We're going around the grounds. Aston Villa Newcastle kicks off at 5:45. Commentary starts on Sports Extra. Full commentary on 5 Live tonight as well of Liverpool Brighton. Mavropanos to Potts. Potts low pass out to the left to Mayers. Burton have every outfield player behind the ball. Here's Potts in the centre circle. Couple of touches. Shade comes towards him. Mavropanos is there to help. Straight ball here to Magassa. Has to hold off the challenge of Evans. Back there to Kilman. On the turn is Conte. No foul there. McKinnon might have been caught by Potts as he played the ball forward for Burton Albion. Yes, says the referee. Free kick to Burton. So, Rob, we've got 17 minutes of the 90 left here, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I think they should have told him there was no extra time. Then we would have played this second half in the first half, and then really gone for it in the second half, because it just feel like the game went by as it passed us by, and really in the first half, and all of a sudden it's been ticking up nicely into what could be a really interesting finale.
So JJ McKinnon's coming off. He'll be replaced by Andy Cannon in midfield, and Kegs Chauke is coming on for George Evans. So the two central midfielders for Burton coming off here, who put in a great shift, as every member of this team. Important as well, Rob, you actually mentioned in the first half, shame Charlie Webster not involved for Burton today, because he's probably their best player.
Yeah, standout player, and it's, as you were saying, it's one that you're saying, well, how long is he going to be for? I think he was another one that could have gone in January if he was fit. It's probably bought him a bit of time, but he's done enough today to suggest they could be okay in League One and maybe in the 5th round of the Cup.
Yeah, for the first time in their history. That is still very much on the cards here for Burton Albion. Bradley Collins, in a season which already in this FA Cup we've seen 6th-tier Macclesfield knock out the holders Crystal Palace, one of the great FA Cup stories. So we wonder whether the big headlines are going to be made. Could it be here early on today, this FA Cup 4th round Saturday? League One Burton against Premier League West Ham. Burton doing the attacking at the moment on the right. Mayers has made a tackle. Godwin Malife had it for a second there. He's ended up on the floor. Still a bit scruffy and scrappy over on the right-hand side. 17-year-old Krubali taking his time, plenty of composure there. Godwin Malife in support on the right. He's got Scarles in front of him. Dummies to go past him on the outside. Back to Krubali. Crosses blocked there by Conte for West Ham, and it goes out for a throw-in to Burton. We're into the last 15 minutes of the 90 here. Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Just looking down, Nuno Espirito Santo stood there, still wrapped up, still not really looking to make any changes in an attacking sense. Freddie Potts coming on, and just another midfielder. He's not brought anything of difference of note.
That is a long clearance from deep, which Traore is happy to chase. That's really good defending by Sibic. Just a little shoulder shake there, as if he was going to play it back to the keeper. Lost Traore. Continues the attack down the left. Armour's Ball in field blocked by Walker-Peters. Mavropanos under pressure down by the byline. West Ham have worked it well to Walker-Peters. Forward here to Conte. That was a high bouncing ball he couldn't control. Godwin Malife takes control in the centre circle. Half knocked to the floor, and the referee eventually decides to give that foul because Godwin Malife then lost the ball. Free kick for Burton Albion. Burton Albion 0. West Ham 0. Godwin Malife. Pass out to the right. Receives it back again. That's Kyron Lofthouse over there. He's worked himself some space. Brings it in field. Edge of the box. Outside of the right foot. Looking to find Beasley. The pass is behind him. Areola safely picks it up for West Ham. Slings it out overarm. He's launched that 60 yards downfield. Sibic against Traore. Again, Sibic gets the better of the battle. Traore's doing the chasing. Now, Sibic can't go back to his keeper there because Wilson's in the way. Prods a pass into midfield up towards Andy Cannon. Cannon wins the throw for Burton, and it remains Burton 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, it's been terrific, hasn't he, Civic? Coming on, doing a job against Traore. It's a daunting proposition, and just wondering whether with 15 minutes to go, Traore, I'm not sure the last time he started the game, it's for Fulham, that would have been best part of a year ago, maybe more, and he's not something, really, his match fitness wouldn't be too sharp.
It's the kind of thing a commentator should have in his notes, Rob. I just looked down here and I thought, no, I can't add to that. Free kick for Burton Albion. Beasley was caught with a high challenge. It's out on the left wing, but it's not that far short of the penalty area. And the longer the game goes, it only takes a moment, doesn't it, Rob?
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for them. They've been struggling to get numbers into the box all of a sudden, sort of with the tiredness setting in. Well, now all the centre halves are in, all three of them. And looking at Beasley as well. He's one that attacks the ball well. It's an opportunity. We've been saying it all game, and the delivery's been poor, really, from Burton.
So this one has been left to Tyrese Shade, who is one of the strikers you'd imagine might be in there hunting for the goal, but probably because of what Rob's saying, the delivery hasn't been good enough. It's now his turn with his right foot. Got plenty on that towards the far post. Areola comes a long way, throws himself at that, double-fisted punch, and the ball is a long way clear of the penalty area. Chauke is there. Passes it back into his own half, and Armour's just going to go from deep here. High one, dropping down on the edge of the West Ham box. Kilman is up, wins the header, and it goes out for a Burton throw. 12 minutes of the 90 remaining. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0. Full commentary of the Calcutta Cup in the Six Nations. Game kicks off at 4:40. We'll be here on 5 Live if you're on the move. BBC Sounds app is what you need. 2 o'clock kickoff, Ireland, Italy. Full commentary of that on Sports Extra 2. Sibic with his cross into the area, nodded down and away for West Ham. Chauke takes control for Burton. His kit just looking that little bit cleaner and brighter, having only just come onto the field. Turned it into a 50-50, but won the 50-50. Armour crossing from deep up to the edge of the area. Little layoff, only runs to Walker-Peters. He's dragged back by Andy Cannon. Free kick for West Ham.
So, Ali, what time are we allowed to say that this game's been poor? Really, you're looking at it saying the quality from both sides hasn't been there. Burton won't mind one bit, will they, about the quality not being there that's made them stay in the game, but it hasn't been won. We looked at them there. They've had 4 or 5 opportunities to get a good quality ball in. None of them really meeting the bar.
Yeah, and I think what keeps you watching and on the edge of your seat and hopefully listening is the fact that I was saying that with all seriousness.
It's close.
Is that it's 0-0.
It's not a good game, but it's a close game.
It's 0-0, and the shock is still on here. And Burton Albion have never been in the 5th round of the FA Cup, and the longer it goes, you just wonder whether it might be their day. That is Krubali holding off the challenge of Conte. Passes fizzed forward from deep here to Shade. Good layoff to Godwin Malife. Goes to the right to Lofthouse. Scarles tries to close that down quickly. Cross comes in. Important header from Kilman. Can only nod it behind into those Burton fans for a Burton Albion corner. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0, heading towards the last 10 minutes of the 90.
Yeah, that was 2-3 passes with a bit of quality and a delivery to match, and Kilman was scrambling. I just think that Burton have ridden the storm in this second half and had to suck it up when they did. Now enjoying themselves, made the changes, got a spring in the step.
Going to be some noise here if Burton can get this ball into the back of the West Ham net. Another opportunity comes from the corner. I think that's Cannon over there who's taking that in front of the Burton fans. Drills it in with pace towards the near post, headed away. Cannon runs towards it. Conte just leaps that little bit higher to win the header. Nods it out of play, throw into Burton. Chalke gets ready to take it. A couple more Burton subs on the way as well. Castellanos, I can see. Yeah. Tati Castellanos coming on for West Ham. Recently signed from Lazio for £26 million. Scored in the FA Cup in the win against QPR. The extra time win might be needed again. Going through some strenuous limbering up. If I tried to high kick like that nowadays, Rob, yeah, the result would not be good.
It would be Tati.
Areola. Ball at his feet inside his own area. Clearance down the middle of the pitch. Sibic wins the header. Good leap by Potts. Nods it forward. Smashed on a half volley by Van Kooten. Headed away by Mavropanos. Got a bit sort of route one end to end for a minute or so there. And then the pass from Lofthouse gets a touch on it and goes out of play for a Burton throw. So Somerville and Castellanos coming on for West Ham. So Nuno Espirito Santo has left it to the last 10 minutes to get these two on, who've been in good form for West Ham recently. While they make the changes, Adama Traore is coming off. Why don't we check in at Ascot? Darren Owen watching the racing there this afternoon. The Reynoldstown Novices Steeplechase.
Yes, and the Duke's Box Kid was really impressive here, winning by 5.5 lengths. The 4-9 favourite made all the running and jumped well. So Ben Pauling and Ben Jones's terrific season continues. And elsewhere, Alexei has beaten Rubo in the Kingwell Hurdle at Wincanton, and Alexei remains on course for the champion hurdle at Cheltenham in a few weeks' time.
Thank you, Darren. So Somerville has come on for Scarles, Castellanos on for Adama Traore, and two changes for Burton Albion. Kane Adon, who was signed in the recent transfer window from Gateshead, will come on wearing number 29. And the other player coming on is Julian Larsson, the Swede, formerly of Nottingham Forest. Tyrese Shade is coming off, and the 17-year-old Suleiman Kribali. Rob Green.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he, Kribali? I think you'd say, out of all of it, the standout performer, the one of note. He's had to deal with West Ham midfield, and in particular Magassa in there when he started to tick. You just felt that he's got something in the future, hasn't he?
Double change at the double. Into the last 10 minutes. 5 Live, BBC Sounds, BBC Radio London this afternoon. Burton have taken their throw. They've got the ball inside the West Ham area. Lofthouse looking for space. Cut back to the edge of the box. Magassa got a touch, and then the miscued shot on the bounce. That would have been a first touch as well there. Poor Julian Larsson couldn't get it on target. Spoons it high in the air. That'll be a goal kick for West Ham.
Yeah, scrappy. Really clean, and this kind of sums up the game there, wasn't it? It was one waiting for a moment, a flash of brilliance, and from somewhere now West Ham with Tati coming on the right hand side, almost alongside Callum Wilson, and Somerville on the left.
Mavropanos ball over the top, chased by Magassa into the Burton penalty area, holds on to this ball, back to goal at the moment, turns, hits the shot into the near post, saved by the keeper there. Magassa might get another chance, then he's tackled, and the ball is cleared away by Larsson. So Larsson's been busy since coming onto the field a minute ago. 6 minutes of the 90 remaining. Extra time is on the way as things stand. First fourth round tie of this Saturday afternoon on 5 Live. 4 more kicking off at 3 o'clock. Here's Freddie Potts. West Ham undone by the late Manchester United equaliser on Tuesday. Looking to break some hearts here with a late winner against Burton Albion. Magassa running the game for West Ham in this second half. Involved again, but West Ham have come back into their own half. Mavropanos plays it across to Kilman. Straight pass forward here to Somerville. 5 goals in his last 6 games for the pink-booted Crescencio Somerville. So Burton Albion will be very wary of him. Mayers has gone on ahead of Somerville. Somerville's dropped back into his own half here. Ball at his feet. Passes back to Kilman, and Kilman in turn comes all the way back to Areola. Couple of touches, rolls the ball away from him with the studs of his right boot, and clears down the inside right channel. Sibic chased by Castellanos, who decides to shove him in the back. And Rob, like you, your head just dropped there because you just think, what are you doing? Why would you give that away?
Sibic looked at him and almost in a pleading sense, they push me. and he just obliged and just gave him the foul. And you're thinking, you see Callum Wilson now, he's turned to his teammates and he's gesturing saying, we need more, we've got to lift it, because this is going to drag on into extra time, because there's no sign of a winner.
Reading 2, Wycombe 2. So Wycombe were 2-0 down in that game in League One. They've got it back to 2-2. And now 3-2 to Reading, I'm hearing. So 5 goals in the game. Jack Marriott has scored all 3 for Reading. Reading 3, Wycombe 2. Stevenage 0, Huddersfield 0. Barnet 0, Cheltenham 0 in League 2. All the goals as they go in this afternoon. Going round the grounds. 4 FA Cup 4th round ties kicking off at 3 o'clock. This one's still 0-0 between Burton Albion and West Ham. Mayers, that's a hopeful hoof forward. Awkward, Van Kooten did well. Watch that drop over his right shoulder and leant in to nod it carefully back to his keeper, Bradley Collins.
And now into the territory of just one mistake, one slip. Dare I say it, one moment of quality is going to completely decide this tie.
Will we be delaying, if it goes to extra time and penalties, Rob, your Valentine's Day plans today? Is there...
I've just got my I've got to get my apologies in now, I think, because I could be here for quite a while before someone scores.
You could be. Burton attacking down the right. Can they fashion a chance? Cross comes in from the right. Good delivery. Headed away. Controlled here by Castellanos. Looking for Somerville with the outside of his right foot. Somerville accidentally treads down the Achilles of Godwin Malife, who really felt that. Definite free kick, and the referee spotted it, and Godwin Malife in a bit of pain.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable for him, wasn't it? A really awkward one, but it almost sums up the game that Somerville there allowed him to get beyond him, allowed him to take the ball, and then clipped his heels. You know, just step in front of him in this first place, and it's been slow and pedestrian at times for West Ham. It's been frustrating at times, and Burton you got to give them credit. They've hindered them in how they play, but there's been so little in terms of asking questions of Burton, technically, tactically, anything like that.
Tomorrow's FA Cup commentaries, 12 o'clock kickoff. Birmingham Leeds. Grimsby Wolves kicks off at 1:30. Commentary of that one will start on Sports Extra 2. We've also got commentary of a massive game in the Scottish Premiership from Ibrox. Ian Dennis is there for Rangers against Hearts. Hearts starting that game 5 points above Rangers. Celtic at Kilmarnock earlier in the day. Game in hand 1 point behind. Rangers 6 behind Hearts. Free kick into the West Ham area. Headed up in the air by Beasley. Concentration from Mavropanos. Watch that onto the laces of his right boot and then swung his foot heartily and clears it downfield. We're back with the Burton keeper Bradley Collins, and we're into the 89th minute of this cup tie. Burton 0, West Ham 0. Long ball downfield. Beasley just got a glancing header onto that. Walker-Peters got to be careful. Under pressure there from Adom. Ball just sat up there on Mavropanos, so he's got right underneath that. Hasn't cleared it very far. Armour battling for it for Burton. Good ball from Cannon. Adom gets it back to Larson, trying to tee himself up for the shot. And West Ham have managed to scramble it away downfield. Ball heading our way. Lands a couple of rows in front of us. That'll be a throw-in for West Ham.
Burton are going for it. They left 1v1 at the back there. They're trying to get bodies forward. They're trying to get a little bit of quality.
Down the right, Wilson, first time ball. Castellanos edge of the area. No conviction at all. Looking for Somerville. I thought he might try and hit that with his left foot. Just passed it straight to a Burton defender. Ticking over into the 90th minute of the game. Added time. And if we 5 minutes of added time, I'm hearing, on the way. And if we don't have a winner at that point, we're into extra time here on BBC Radio 5 Live. West Ham building some late pressure here. Mavropanos to Walker-Peters. Left-footed ball down the right. Little back heel from Conte. Looking for Walker-Peters again. Got to that. Went down under the challenge. Assistant referee had a good view. Didn't put the flag up. Play continues. West Ham still have the ball. Nuno Espirito Santo thumps his thighs with both hands in frustration. West Ham have come back here with Mavropanos. Cross to Conte. Conte to Walker-Peters. Tight space for him there. Conte again. Forward to Somerville on the turn. Round the corner looking for the 1-2 with Castellanos. Might break it. Edge of the box. Magassa's shot deflected. Took all the pace out of it. And Collins is able to scamper to his left. Fall on the ball for Burton.
Yeah, good players linking up together all of a sudden. Somerville and Castellanos. The game ratcheted up a couple of notches within the space of seconds.
Unceremonial hoof downfield from Bradley Collins. West Ham have dealt with it. 4 minutes of added time we're into it now. 4 minutes away from extra time in this first 4th round tie of this Saturday afternoon on 5 Live. Calcutta Cup afternoon as well. Full commentary from Murrayfield. Game kicks off at 4:40. Ball towards Wilson wasn't a good one. Conte rescues the situation for West Ham. Walker-Peters with a chance to cross from the right in towards the far post. Wilson throws himself at it, couldn't get a touch on it. Somerville goes speeding towards the ball, doesn't keep it in play. The flag goes up late. That is going to be a goal kick to Burton Albion. And quite often, Rob, you'd sort of think of, right, what have West Ham got coming next? Actually, for Burton, given the position they're in the relegation zone in League One, Rotherham come here on Tuesday. They're 1 point behind them. Gary Bowie will be very mindful of that, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just having a conversation with his support team down below, as I think they made substitutions with that in mind for the week. And this is a bonus for them, really. A full house game on TV. Revenue that's more than welcome, but League One survival, much like West Ham in the Premier League, is the priority.
Neither team has really created a clear-cut opportunity in the entire 91 minutes of football we've played so far. 3 minutes of added time remaining, and then on into extra time as Collins clears for Burton from the goal kick. The ball is on the halfway line. Chauke works it away to the right. There's a foul there by Kilman. Is there, or was it an offside against? No, it's an offside. It's a free kick, West Ham.
Yeah, it's a novelty. It catches you out when the linesman, referee's assistant puts the flag up immediately. You think, well, why is that? Because there's no VAR.
Mavropanos closed down quickly by Beasley, blocks the clearance, goes out for a throw to West Ham inside their own half on the right. 2 minutes remaining. Mavropanos again looks up, he's going to go long. Wilson's going to chase it. Civic is underneath it, heads it straight up in the air. Magassa lets it drop onto the toe of his right boot, fouls Chauke. Free kick for Burton, 10 yards outside their own penalty area. I think we're destined for 30 more minutes of this, Rob.
Yeah, you're just wondering what difference can anybody do really within the game, and Burton are happy to tick along as they are and try and plug away. West Ham, you feel you're saying, well, you've just got to do the same, just better. I think there's not really much. He's put all the good players out there, the players that can attack Somerville. Tati Castellanos is out there, Callum Wilson's out there, Magassa's ticking. It's just not been good enough.
Collins, the goalkeeper for Burton, goes from left to right there with the free kick clearance. Burton fans appealing for a foul on their centre forward Beasley. He joins the protest, throws his arms out wide as he makes that protest to the assistant referee. Over on the far side of the field, throwing for West Ham in the left-back position, just over a minute to play. Volleyed forward by Mayers to no one in particular. Armour is here for Burton. Gets the ball forward quickly, high to the edge of the box. Kilman really wanted that, got up early and powers the header away. Somerville on the turn inside his own half. Had Cannon for company, holds him off, plays to Magassa, back to Mayers. Now it's Kilman inside his own penalty area. 30 seconds ticking down, last minute of added time. Ariola just dinks this one up the middle of the pitch, over the head of Wilson, volleyed away by Civic. Slightly missed time by Mavropanos, gets lucky. West Ham have it. Walker-Peters up towards Wilson. He's tackled on the halfway line. Chauke still battling for that ball for Burton. They get it out to the left-hand side here to Adom. Adom back to Armour. Armour's ball down the left with 10 seconds to play. Mavropanos wins a header, then he volleys it away. Might go to play unless Wilson can keep it in. Wilson tumbles backwards, so does Armour. Referee's given it as a free kick maybe to West Ham, and this will be, no, it won't be the last kick of the 90 minutes. That was the last action of the 90 minutes, Rob Green. We are going to extra time in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 0. As you said, not a game of high quality, but we're still wrapped by it because Burton are still in it here.
Yep, it's still very much, as you saw at the start of the game, it's very little to shout about other than Burton Albion support and their attitude towards the game. They probably feel like they've had the better chances in total, the strikes on goal, but with slim pickings, and it's going to be something decisive somewhere.
Burton 0, West Ham 0, fourth round of the FA Cup, extra time on the way, Mark.
God, we bring you in on a Saturday lunchtime, give you the opportunity, Ali, and you've delivered that.
Do you know what will tickle you? Is they didn't have time to change the accreditation today, so my accreditation, I'm actually masquerading as the BBC's chief football correspondent, and I know that there's so many open doors for a gag for you there. What I will tell you is it's only a headshot, it's not a full-length shot, so I have got away with it so far.
Yeah, and when you were talking earlier in the half about doing a high kick, I was just thinking that's a normal kick for the rest of of us.
All right.
Stevenage 1, Huddersfield 0 in League One. They've scored with 5 minutes to go. Have Stevenage. Carl Piagiani has got that. Stevenage 1, Huddersfield 0. It's Reading 3, Wickham 2 in League One. Jack Marriott has hit a hat-trick in that game, and it takes him to 16 for the season. They are underway in Dublin. Ireland, Italy, James Burridge.
And Andy Farrell knows his side have to make a fast start. He's called for a clear intention not to overthink, and he's made 6 changes. In come Ulster's Balakoon and Izuchuku, making their Six Nations debuts. They're up against a very well organised Italian side who've got an incredible pack and a defence to match it. 91% success rate against Scotland, and they're hunting their first Six Nations victory in Dublin. 0-0. 2 minutes gone.
Sports Extra 2, if you want to listen to that this afternoon. 4 FA Cup games get underway at 3 o'clock, including Manchester City against Salford. Lee Blakeman.
Manchester City make 9 changes from the side that started the 3-0 win here against Fulham on Wednesday. Foden and Aït-Nouri are the 2 that stay in. John Stone starts for the first time since the start of December. Trafford is in goal. Marmoush and Cherki come in to play alongside Foden as the front 3. Salford changed 3 from the defeat at Accrington last Thursday. They're playing in the 4th round of the FA Cup for the very first time. Manchester City looking to take a step closer to an 8th FA Cup win.
Sports Extra 3 later on for Manchester City against Salford at 3 o'clock. Burnley-Mansfield also at 3. Julia Bold.
Scott Parker says the mood has lifted at Burnley after that comeback win at Crystal Palace midweek. 9 changes from that victory in the Premier League. Only Maxim Estev and Josh Laurent keep their places today. James Ward-Prowse gets a first start since his loan switch from West Ham. Max Weiss replaces Martin Dubravka in goal. While Mansfield Town come to Turf Moor without a win in their last 5 games in League One. 6 changes made by Nigel Clough. Kyle Knoll, Aaron Lewis and Stephen McLaughlin into the back line, while attacking players Lucas Akins, Will Evans and Rhys Oates also start this one.
Earlier in the Men's T20 World Cup, England beat Scotland by 5 wickets. Currently, New Zealand are playing South Africa, and New Zealand are batting in that game, and they are currently 77 for 4 after 8 overs. We will be going round the grounds from 3 o'clock. All the goals as they go in England and Scotland, in the league and in the cup as well. We'll keep you up to date with Ireland against Italy. Full commentary from Murrayfield from 4:40 of Scotland against England. Then we'll bring you the second half of Villa against Newcastle, and then we'll bring you the whole match from Anfield of Liverpool against Brighton. We'll crank it up now with Rob and Ali.
You're doing all the goals as they go in. We're going to do any goals if they go in.
Please. A goal. Just one.
Burton 0, West Ham 0. Well, I mean, eventually it's going to be penalties, Rob, if they can't score in the 30 minutes.
That's no guarantee of goals.
Right. Just waiting for the game to get back underway. Great effort, you have to say, by Burton. Sitting in the relegation zone in League One. Only their second appearance in the 4th round ever. Have taken it to West Ham today. Nuno Espirito Santo with the starting lineup made 10 changes. West Ham are a bit better on the ball in the second half, but neither team has really created that sort of chance that you'd look back on over the 90 minutes and say, wow, we should have scored, we should have won it.
Yeah, absolutely. Burton have been terrific. They've been worked so hard. They've been organised and resolute, and they've been direct and forceful when they've had the ball without the quality on the ball. West Ham have been slow and been measured and been a little bit pedestrian, and when they do go forwards with purpose, they've shown the cutting edge but yet to capitalise, and just really slim pickings in terms of chances.
West Ham's last 5 FA Cup ties against teams from the 3rd tier or below, they have come through successfully. The last time they went out in such circumstances was at AFC Wimbledon back in January 2019. This game very much in the balance. Areola's got to be careful there, ball bobbling around inside his penalty area. So West Ham in the claret shirts, white shorts and the claret socks with the blue tops, playing from right to left in this first period of extra time on 5 Live and BBC Sounds under blue skies. Fluffy white clouds above too at the Pirelli Stadium, home of Burton Albion in Staffordshire here. 6,500 just over watching the action as Areola clears with his right foot. Burton Albion in the amber and black. Castellanos is on as a sub now for West Ham. Brought that down really well. A couple of nice touches and feeds it to Walker-Peters on the right. Magassa still has the energy to make the run. Goes wide for this ball. Holds it up. Plays it back into midfield to Potts, and now Mavropanos is involved. He's back on the halfway line with Max Kilman. Kilman side puts a pass to 19-year-old Ezra Mayers. Somerville, West Ham will certainly be looking for him in this next half an hour of football. They needed extra time to beat QPR in the third round. Here they are in extra time again. Mavropanos meets that one well. Speed on the pass out to the right. Magassa exchanges passes with Walker-Peters. Back it comes here to Freddie Potts. Potts across to Kilman. Kilman back to Potts in the centre circle. Closed down by the Swede Julian Larsson. Mavropanos just inside the Burton Albion half now. Uses Potts again. And it's patient from West Ham at the start of this first period of extra time. All those holes in the back of Kilman's socks very evident here. Little dink ball over the top from Mavropanos, looking for Castellanos. Drops loose inside that Burton box. Cleared away by Van Kooten. He was caught as he cleared. He's down. He'll be back on his feet, no free kick.
Yeah, West Ham keep the ball, retain possession across the back, and it's just a matter of waiting. They're just waiting for when they're going to put it forward, because they can't play through Burton. And Mavropanos has done it twice now, and it's almost like you can take your eyes off the game for 20 seconds whilst they just loiter around with the ball at the back.
West Ham thought they had a throw. Mayers took it quickly. It had been given the other way. So Mayers gets the bird from the Burton Albion fans and goes trotting back into his left-sided defensive position, although that is high up the field at the moment because Burton have a throw in their right-back position. Godwin Malife down the right. Mayers on the turn, headed out of play by Lofthouse for a throw-in to West Ham. Highlights on BBC One tonight at 10:25.
Will it make an appearance?
It could
Not
burst
yet.
into life. Mayers, right-footed ball, could happen now. Wilson's little flick to Castellanos, trying to slide it through. Intercepted there. Godwin Malife clears. Adom tries to get round Mavropanos. Andy Cannon picks up the running for Burton Albion, driving at the West Ham defence. Cannon is down. Tries to head the ball there while he's on the floor to stop West Ham clearing it. Nice turn from Magassa. Ludicrous shirt tug from Beasley. So unsubtle, pure frustration. Free kick for West Ham.
Putting of a shirt is a yellow card, isn't it?
I know.
That's been about 3. Yeah, that's been 3 in this game where there's clear yellow cards should have been shown and haven't.
4 ties in the fourth round, kicking off at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Burnley Mansfield, Manchester City Salford, Norwich West Brom, Southampton Leicester. Somerville getting away from Lofthouse, can't hold him back, still going, edge of the box, hits the shot. Oh, what a goal! That's what he's been doing in recent weeks for West Ham. That's why Nuno Espirito Santo has brought him off the bench, and that's why West Ham may well be heading into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Stunning strike from Somerville. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 1.
Something out of nothing, something with a bit of quality, and it is a moment of magic from Somerville, right from on the touchline, has the ball. Such wonderful fleet-footed nature of running with the ball. He's away, he gets the wrong side of Lofthouse, and he's just got one thing on his mind. You might take a little touch as he gets the strike away, but the run beforehand, the driving nature of it is magical. A little deflection defeats Collins, but West Ham do not care one jot. They've got their goal they needed.
6 goals in his last 7 games, the very definition of a man in form. Has really exploded into life in the last few weeks for West Ham. Crucial goals in the FA Cup, in the Premier League as well. Full of confidence, zipped the shot from the edge of the box, swerving away past Bradley Collins. What a Burton Albion got in response. As I was saying, Rob, highlights, BBC One, that's worth watching.
That is worth staying up for this evening, because that was just from the moment he got the ball, he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
10:25, BBC One. Burton immediately on the attack down the other end. Shot is blocked, cleared away by Mohamedou Kante with his left foot. Throw in for Burton midway inside the West Ham half on the right, and they have still got 25 minutes here to try and find an equaliser. Godwin Malife gets away from Somerville, brings the ball forward and then passes it through the legs of Beasley, had no chance with that, and it goes all the way through to Areola.
Yeah, I've played in these types of games and you score immediately as they start extra time. You think, why didn't you do that 10 minutes ago? We could all go home and we're done.
If Nuno brought Somerville on 10 minutes earlier, just to let him sort of work his way into that position. Good tackle by Conte. Chalke picks up the running for Burton, though. Larson's falling as he plays his pass forward. Scrappy again inside the West Ham half. Chalke runs down a dead end. Mayers blocks. Passes back into midfield. Castellanos to Conte. Conte to Mayers. West Ham happy to slow it down, keep the ball, and let Burton Albion come at them.
Yeah, you can feel them just have a little sigh of relief here, going, we don't have to force it, we don't have to give it. Well, they're giving it away now.
That's Armour down the left. Can Burton Albion get the ball in? Cannon back to Armour, left-footed cross. Areola's got that covered, too close to the keeper at his near post. 10:55 for the highlights on BBC One tonight.
Still worth staying up for.
Absolutely. Rob Green with us here at the Pirelli Stadium. Somerville's goal early in the first period of extra time has West Ham in front against Burton Albion. Armour looking to get that cross in from the left-hand side. Blocked at close range. Chance for West Ham to bring it away. Somerville's interested again. He's the only man forward for West Ham. The ball is played up to him inside his own half, and he starts to take up the running. Finds Castellanos. Mayers goes flying past him. Castellanos plays it to Mayers, drives it low with his left foot, drags it across the face of goal, and behind for a goal kick. That would have clinched the tie.
Yeah, that was electric from West Ham. All of a sudden, Somerville's ticking. Quality on the ball, switching the play. Castellanos waiting for the run of Mayers and just needed the finish. He didn't have the strike on it, didn't he? I think his legs give way when he's done a lot of running from left-sided centre-half and now left-back. Now they've gone to a back four, and West Ham, you just see the confidence returning to the players.
Gary Bowyer might be about to make another change. I can see the Burton boss calling one of the subs towards him here. Burton 1-0 down. Beasley's fallen awkwardly, jumping for a header. He's down as Burton continue to attack down the left. Can they put the pressure on, find the equaliser? Armour's cross into the box, headed away by Mavropanos. Falls to Somerville. Beasley's committing all sorts of fouls now. Drags Somerville back on the edge of the West Ham box, and it allows West Ham just to take 30 seconds out of the game.
Yeah, I think the question now is, do Burton have the belief? Do they really feel like they can get back into this game? Because for all the quality that West Ham showed in that goal from Somerville, you're wondering where is that going to come from a Burton perspective. It's been a lot of effort. They've been terrific. Areola hasn't made a save.
No. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 1. Chelsea already in the hat for the fifth round, as are Wrexham, who beat Ipswich last night. Fifth round draw will be made on Monday night ahead of our commentary of Macclesfield against Brentford. Castellanos, fierce right-footed shot from the edge of the box is blocked. Walker-Peters dummies a shot, side foots a pass to Wilson. Walker-Peters makes the run on the outside, looks to get that cross in. West Ham appeal for handball, hopefully. So the ball comes off, the Burton man goes behind for the West Ham corner. 9 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. Burton 0, West Ham 1.
Yeah, all the purpose, all the threat, all the poise is coming from West Ham now, and runners off the ball, runners overlapping runs, just challenges and 50-50s they're winning. It's looking like a Premier League side against a League One side now.
Freddie Potts gets ready to take the corner for West Ham. It's away to our left in front of that packed West stand full of the fans in their amber and black colours. Potts takes 4 paces back from the ball, holds his left arm in the air. Somerville's lurking on the edge of the box, doesn't beat the man at the near post. Headed away by Van Kooten. Chased back by Magassa. Magassa's hopeful ball to the edge of the area, easily intercepted by Andy Cannon. Then Kyron Lofthouse plays forward up towards the halfway line. Nice football from Burton Albion here. That's definitely a foul by Potts in midfield on Larson. Burton Albion plays very unhappy with the challenge. So are the home fans, who got a good view of that on the far side of the field. You can hear them chanting off, off, off. Larson is down, and pretty much every outfield player is surrounding that incident and the referee.
Yes.
Oh, red card. Right. West Ham down to 10 men in the first period of extra time. Referee Lewis Smith felt there was enough in that You heard the reaction of the Burton fans, you saw the reaction of the Burton players for the challenge on Julian Larson. West Ham lead 1-0, but they're down to 10 men.
Yeah, it was a nasty challenge. Immediately Prodigy Potts reacted and by getting up and apologising, checking the player was okay. It just looked a horrible tackle. Crumpled Larson underneath the weight of his body, and it's difficult to tell from this angle. It looked like it was two-legged, a scissor tackle, and he's let a lot go, Lewis Smith, the referee. This one, there was no real decision other than to send him off.
So Freddie Potts send off for West Ham. He is very slowly dragging himself from the field of play. Burton Albion players checking their teammate Julian Larson is okay, and we're sneaking a little look at a monitor from some of our broadcasting colleagues on the row in front of us here, which is how Rob has just seen that challenge. I mean, it didn't look good to the naked eye, and I think actually the reaction told you a fair bit as well. I know players will always go up and sort of try and get a decision for their side, but there seemed genuine outrage at the tackle.
Yeah, the weight that went through the leg of Larson, which is the bit that you immediately wince, and you could tell that however many thousand are in that terracing on the opposite side to us, immediately you could see their reaction, see the wince, and it wasn't pretty.
Okay.
It was two-legged. It's more the weight of the body going through rather than the actual two-footed nature of it.
So West Ham have the lead, but down to 10 men. 2.5 minutes left in this first period of extra time on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, but there will be a little bit more than that because of the time this has taken. Throws himself at the challenge, does Potts. He's high there, and it's a sort of scissor tackle on Larson. Larson thankfully is okay. Red card for Potts. Ball into the West Ham area. Godwin Malife lays it off. Lofthouse is going the long way round down the right. Low cross in towards the near post. West Ham can't get this cleared just yet. Have a second chance to knock it away. Chauke manages to block that, keeps it on the right. Mavropanos has got hold of his shirt here, right under the nose of the assistant referee. Real physical battle for the ball. Eventually it rolls out of play. No one touched it. Chauke got the last touch, thrown for West Ham in the left back position.
He looked like he enjoyed that, didn't he? Mavropanos, it's a blocking, challenging. I think you're going to get a few more of them between now and the end of the game with 10 men.
Yeah, this is going to turn into a bit of a scrap. FA Cup 4th round. First time Burton Albion, second time, beg your pardon, have ever been at this stage of the competition. Trailing 1-0. They're given some encouragement now up against 10 men. Flicked header from Conte away from danger. Wilson completes the clearance. Nodded back by Van Kooten. Mayers on the half volley, just happy to knock that downfield. And into the Burton Albion half. El Hadji Malik Diouf waiting to come on for West Ham. Another recognised first teamer. Long ball forward by Van Kooten, dropping down in front of Armour. I think he lost that in the sun. That ball travelled about 60 yards. It was a fabulous 60-yard diagonal pass, which could have worked brilliantly for Armour. And he looks around to his teammate and said, just didn't see it.
Well, it was perfect, other than the fact that he couldn't see it at all. It was incredible. He's angled in and just into his stride from across the pitch, and he just didn't have a clue where the ball was.
So West Ham have got to show some professional nous, grit, application here. Away from home, 1-0 up, down to 10 men. Freddie Potts sent off. Playing for a place in the 5th round of the FA Cup as Areola clears. Flicked header away by Magassa. Sibic knocks it forward for Burton. Beasley lays it off. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, with West Ham leading 1-0. Here's Lofthouse going on the outside, beats Mayers, cross deflected. Areola flaps at this, drops down inside the area. Driven shot, no, Cannon dummies it, lays it off here. Armour with the shot, oh, it's wide. Burton's best chance in the game, and Gary Bowie, the manager, leaps up and down in agony on the touchline there. He knows that was the chance.
And I can't believe it. Can't believe he's missed the target. Almost went for a cross. And he's 12 yards out on the angle, Armour. Just put your foot through the ball. Just shanks it wide. But the pressure's starting to show. You're just feeling that all of a sudden the tide has turned. West Ham in cruise control, 1-0 up, see this through. You're looking round, and all of a sudden as well, 2 substitutes looking to come on. 2 defenders.
It's Rob Green with us here at the Pirelli Stadium. Lewis Orford waiting to come on for West Ham. Summerfield, the game changer, plays it forward here to Castellanos. Sees Wilson inside the penalty area, brings it down on his chest, gave Armour a chance to get back at him, make the tackle, and behind it goes for a corner. 2 minutes left in added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Burton 0, 10-man, West Ham 1. Oh, and now, who was that slide? Was that Chauke sliding in, trying to get on the end of the Armour?
I thought he was crossing it.
Yeah.
Thinking, why? You're so close, you've got the chance of glory, and you're trying to pick your teammate out. Shoot.
90 seconds left. Disassi waiting to come on with Diouf for West Ham. Somerville will take the corner from the right, an away swinger. Godwin Malife heads it high, it bounces outside the Burton penalty area, drops down here to Chauke. Burton Albion players streaming forward at pace. That's Jake Beasley, lays it back into midfield. Is there enough on that pass? Yeah, Cannon's done well, got his body in the way, let it run across him to Godwin Malife. Minute left at the end of this first period of extra time. Godwin Malife, great run forward, he's just slightly overrun it. Just wonder whether there might be a challenge, a dangling leg there that could invite him to go down. There wasn't. West Ham have cleared.
He was asking for it, wasn't he? He was desperate. He was looking for it. He didn't want to shoot.
Burton have taken the throw. Cannon, clever pass through the lines to Lofthouse. Mayers follows it, gets a touch on it, plays it back to Kilman. Clears it as far as Van Kooten. Van Kooten down the right here. Cannon's low ball into the penalty area. West Ham again have enough bodies there. Conte happy just to hit that ball as far downfield as he can. 20 seconds or so now remaining at the end of this first period of extra time. Burton 0, West Ham 1. Mayers leaps, the ball sort of glances off the top of his head. He's able to get to that first, thumps it downfield with his left foot towards Castellanos, cleverly volleyed back into the path of Godwin Malife. He's lost it though. This could be a chance for West Ham to kill it. Down to 10 men, Somerville looking for Conte. Conte had stopped running because he picked up a slight knock in the build-up there. He possibly should have passed it to his right. This FA Cup tie is not over just yet. First period of extra time, we've had the stunning strike from Crescencio Somerville, then the ill-advised challenge from Freddie Potts has taken West Ham down to 10 men, but the Premier League team, with 15 minutes to go, lead Burton Albion by a goal to 0. Mark.
Back shortly then to Ali and Rob. Ireland on the board in Dublin. James Burridge.
And they lead 5 points to 0, 19 minutes gone. Jamie Osborne touching down to the left of the post as Ireland, big carries through the middle, a wonderful offload from McCloskey. The shot though, Mark, that Prendergast missed, an absolute sitter of a conversion. They lead 5-0. Garbisi is just lining up this penalty attempt and he strokes it through the post, so actually the deficit has already been cut. 20 minutes gone. Italy now on the board. Ireland 5, Italy 3.
Thank you very much. New Zealand 127 for 4 in the 13th over against South Africa. Earlier in the men's T20, England beat Scotland by 5 wickets. Britain's men in action in the curling. Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, and they've made a solid start, GB, as they're looking to make it 3 wins out of 4 in the round-robin stage. They lead Czechia 5-2 after 5 ends, so midway through this match. Just a word, though, on a moment of history at the men's giant slalom. As you said earlier, Mark, the conditions really tricky for the skiers to contend with on their runs, but Lucas Pinheiro Broughton of Brazil handling them the best. He's taken gold, and in doing so he's become the first South American athlete in history to win a medal of any colour at a Winter Olympics. So a huge moment there.
Excellent, thank you, Maz. You can watch the Winter Olympics on BBC One at the moment. If you want the rugby, it's on Sports Extra 2. If you want the cricket, it's on Sports Extra. Earlier in League One, Reading 3, Wycombe 2, a Jack Marriott hat-trick for the home side there. Stevenage beat Huddersfield by a goal to 0 in League 2. It finished Barnet 0, Cheltenham 0. From 3 o'clock, we'll go around the grounds, all the goals as they go in England and Scotland. After the conclusion from Burton, back to Ali.
Yeah, all the sport, all the commentaries. That's why the BBC Sounds app is so useful to you. That's where you'll find all the podcasts too, all the other BBC radio stations. Double change made by West Ham at the start of this second period of extra time. Axel Disassi comes onto the field as does El Hadji Malik. Beg your pardon, it's Lewis Orford, the other one who's come on, and it's Mohamedou Conte and Callum Wilson who've gone off. That's the double change for West Ham.
Centre half on, sitting midfielder on. I think Aaron tells a story. Ezra Mayo's going out to left wing back, but Disasi coming on. I think they know what's coming, as we all do, for the next 15 minutes.
Now I think our heads are going to be turned skywards for a bit like this. Burton Albion keeper Bradley Collins floats it up towards the edge of the box. Mayers goes up to win the header. So Premier League West Ham leading 1-0. Somerville's goal in extra time. Sibic under pressure here for Burton. Back to his keeper Collins, off balance, but plays the pass out to the right hand side. But Freddie Potts sent off for the tackle on Julian Larson, which makes this last 15 minutes of the game so tantalising. If Burton can get the equaliser, we could be heading towards a penalty shootout. They will have to go for it and give it everything. Big league game for them at home against Rotherham on Tuesday. They won't be worried about that right now, but that will also leave the spaces for West Ham, even with 10 men, to catch them on the counter. Chauke's shot deflected. Armour's trying to get there. The ball bounces loose here to Larson. Lays it off to his left. Cannon dummies the cross with his left foot. Plays it back to Larson. Larson's ball into the penalty. Gets a little touch, but it's only a glancing blow with the right foot from Lofthouse, and it goes behind. It's a Dom actually who gets a touch with his right foot, and it goes behind for the goal kick to West Ham.
Yeah, first cross of plenty, you feel, in the next 15 minutes. And just looking at West Ham saying, well, we're going to set up in a 5-3-1. Somerville getting up into sort of Tassi Castellanos when he can, but realistically, Burton are going to play with two centre-halves, and everybody else are just going to go for it.
So 19-year-old Lewis Orford has come into this West Ham midfield. Another Burton change coming now. That is Jasper Moon, who will come on for Jack Armour. And he looks to have sort of taken station on the left-hand side of the Burton Albion midfield attack. And Jack Armour is the man who's had the best chance for Burton late in that first period of extra time. The sort of cross-come shot, it was neither really, dragged wide of the target, and that is why Burton still trail West Ham 1-0. But they've got the bit between their teeth now. Cannon down the line here to Larson, back to Cannon. West Ham stand off him for a second. 13 minutes of the game remaining. 4 fourth-round ties on the way from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Larson's cross, blocked by Orford, outside the West Ham area, goes behind for a Burton corner.
Yeah, all Burton now dominating. They need that goal, they need the moment of quality. Moon, who's a centre-half, he's gone up front. I think he's come on and they've just gone right. As big a player as we can in the box.
Excitement levels building inside the Pirelli Stadium. Corner taken short, then chipped into the area, headed away by Disasi. Out it comes to the edge of the box. Larson hits it low, good speed on the shot. Mavropanos got his legs in the way. Ball drops on the edge of the area. Godwin Malife on the turn, running away here from Magassa. Great pace, cut back into the penalty area. Might drop here to Beasley, lays it off into space. No one is there. Mavropanos slides in and clears it with his right foot, and suddenly it's turned into a one-on-one. Chauke's got to get there first ahead of Castellanos. Gets enough on the ball to get it back to his keeper Collins. Collins' clearance only finds Somerville. Castellanos is on. No, he's not. He's offside. Flag is up. Free kick for Burton.
Well, the best chance for Beasley is the game. He's a fox in the box. He just couldn't sort his feet out. Facing away from goal, he had the time to turn. Just bundled it really under his own feet.
Burton 0, West Ham 1. Lofthouse on the right, attacking position for the League One team. Disasi came across to cover it. He's not in the middle at the moment. Godwin Malife gets down the right, cross in towards the far post, nodded across goal by Larson. Lariola comes out, scooped over the bar by Beasley. There was a deflection on that. It's another corner to Burton Albion. Great effort this by the League One team.
Well, they've got them under the pump. Beasley's had 2 great chances, couldn't get the shot away again. You've got to do it one touch. You've got 10 West Ham players in the box. Someone's going to be closer. You just got to take a snapshot.
Premier League West Ham leading 1-0 in the FA Cup, down to 10 men, getting a little bit panicky at the back at the moment. 4 minutes have flown by in this second period of extra time. Corner into the area. Sibic tries to hit that on the turn. West Ham get the tackle in. Now they'll be dangerous on the break. 2-on-2. Somerville and Castellanos. Somerville has the ball at his feet. Castellanos running on the outside in his bright orange boots. Takes it into the penalty area. Holds it up for a second. Still looking for Somerville. Burton Albion get the players back. Larson is on the ball just outside his own area. And Burton can start to play from deep. End to end. Thrilling FA Cup football. Took a heck of a long time to get to this stage, but we're here now.
We could have just had extra time first. That would have been ideal, really. That would have been helpful for everyone. But Burton are pressing again, and they're still going for it.
Here they come. Lofthouse on the left now, up against Walker-Peters. Wants to take him on the outside. Gets past him. Walker-Peters does well. Sticks with him, makes the block. Corner for Burton.
You feel like they're going to get one big chance in this. It's whether they can take it or not. Beasley's had a couple of little swings at things, and it's dropped for other players. One proper opening, one shot at goal. Can they take it?
4 wins in the last 6 games for West Ham. Much improved. Beat QPR in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Won at Spurs. Beat Sunderland. Beat Burnley. Leading Burton here by 1-0. Under pressure, though. Late in extra time. Corner in from the left. Looks decent. Areola comes out and punches it away. Burton will be able to recycle. Here's Chauke. Able to bring the ball up to the edge of the box. Low pass. On the turn is Van Kooten. Lays it back to Godwin Malife. No one wants to shoot just yet. Another ball into feed inside the penalty area. Disassi is there. Scissor kick as he's falling over. Gets the ball away for West Ham. Anything will do at the moment.
Well, the furthest player up the pitch is Tati Castellanos, and he's 18 yards out. That shows you where West Ham are. Their intentions are just to hold on. It's just going to keep on coming back in.
Burton's goalkeeper Bradley Collins is inside the West Ham half. Not quite time yet to be thrown forward for the set pieces. Here comes a long throw into the West Ham area. Burton 0, West Ham 1. Towards that near post. Mayers wins the header. All he can do, though, is guide it behind for a corner to Burton Albion. Terrific effort, this.
They're still going. You just wonder whether West Ham have got all their players back, where they're throwing just one forward. Just as a point of difference, someone to go up there and say, we can break away, but not really looking to do so.
Less than 10 minutes to play. Corner comes in from the right towards the far post. Powerful header goes up in the air. Beasley just nods it straight back up in the air. Nodded down. Can West Ham get it away? Orford leaps. Hacks it away with his right foot. Chauke chases back for Burton. Passes back to his keeper Collins. Slices that one. High spinning ball. Still drops in the field of play. Cannon does well to bring it under control, and Burton can start to build again from inside their own half. West Ham can take a breather for a few seconds.
You look at Somerville. He's not going to do anything in the penalty area with the giants that are in there now. He's just saying, just leave him up front. Just leave him there. That puts 1, maybe 2 players back for Burton. At the minute, there's no one.
West Ham backing off. Ball into their penalty area. Moon looks for the flick on. Jasper Moon gets a little glancing touch on it. It falls to Julian Larson inside the box. Angle is tight towards the far post. Mayers heads it back towards his own goal. Kilman with a header. Another header might drop in the box. So it's sliced wide on the volley by Adom. Had a wild slash at that with his right foot, and it went well wide of the target. Burton 0, West Ham 1.
Well, there's no composure anywhere. And they're in a Burton shirt or a West Ham shirt. No one can get the ball away. And then Burton, no one can capitalise it. It's screaming out for that bit of quality we were talking about. Want a bit of composure in there.
Yeah, this last 30 minutes, extra time, has been classic FA. I mean, it's been classic FA Cup all day because of the occasion, because of the performance Burton Albion have put in, and because this is a momentous day for them. But in terms of the drama now, West Ham down to 10. Somerville's goal has got them in front. Thrilling stuff. Somerville's ball. Offside flag goes up against Castellanos. He's through 1-on-1, and if he tries to finish that, he might get booked. But no, he won't. Free kick for Burton, 7 minutes to play.
Well, there's been a red card. I don't think there's been a yellow card. It's been remarkable. There's been ample opportunity.
Julian Larson, the Swede, for Burton, has very quickly got the ball up to the edge of the West Ham area. Plays it back here to Cannon. Larson again. Larson lays it off to Sibic, gets his head up, cross comes in, Areola will come for that, it's too close for the West Ham keeper, will gratefully flop forward onto the ball. Right, we're counting now. You can see the referee with his fingers showing Areola he's got to get rid of that within the 8 seconds. Walker-Peters holds onto it on the right. Adom tries to make the challenge. That is a hefty challenge from Larson. He got properly sandwiched there. No free kick, fair tackle. Throw in West Ham.
Walker-Peters just chuckling away to himself, going, wow, I nearly got put into the advertising hoardings then.
Yeah. That was, the Kyle Walker-Peters sandwich. I'll have a Walker-Peters, please. Proper. The rattle you heard actually was ball into the metal surrounds of the advertising hoardings. Castellanos wants a free kick, not going to get that. Can Burton fashion a chance? Maybe now. Adom plays a hopeful one into midfield. The ball is loose just outside the area. Disassi does his bit for West Ham. Clears it downfield with his left foot. Sibic is there. Plays it back here to the goalkeeper Collins. Forward into midfield. Somerville nicks it. Here's the chance. 1-on-1. He's put it wide. He went for the near post. to the left hand of Collins, and he's found the side netting. It remains 1-0 West Ham.
He just pounced on the loose ball, and then from there could have put the game out of sight. His touch let him down. His last touch before his finish made him stretch, and that decided where he was going to go, and Collins got away with one there, didn't he?
Wow. If Burton get an equaliser, we head to penalties. West Ham will certainly regret that from Crescencio Somerville. His goal has them in front. They're down to 10 men. Burton attacking down the right. Godwin Malife chases the ball. Brilliant work from Magassa. Tired legs, but gets his body in the way. West Ham trying to play out. Magassa is down. No free kick. Cannon's got the ball for Burton on the right. Turns, crosses. That's blocked. And that's a throw-in for Burton. 5 minutes to go for Burton to try and find a goal that might take us to penalties.
You're thinking, where's the long throw? They're lining up for the long throw. I don't think they've got anyone to take one.
Jasper Moon comes short, receives that, chests the ball down. He's lost it here to Mayers, and Mayers is happy just to nudge this ball downfield, and the goalkeeper for Burton, Bradley Collins, comes across. 10-man West Ham, they've dropped deep here. High ball into their penalty area. Mavropanos leapt well, cleared away. Castellanos receives it. This is going to be the danger. Flicks it back to Somerville. Castellanos has stayed onside this time. Ball at his feet, 40 yards from goal. West Ham teammates getting forward in support. There's 19-year-old Orford. They're going to hold on to it for now. Still leading 1-0. What's the ref blowing the whistle for here? Oh, the ball's deflated. We need a new match ball for the last 4 minutes of extra time. How's he realised that from there, or have the players complained?
We've been playing for 116 minutes.
Yeah.
And now the ball's flat.
Is the ball flat? No, we're dropping the same ball. Or is that a different ball that's come on the field?
No, it's
that's
a
what he
different
said.
ball.
It's a different ball.
That's remarkable.
That is remarkable. 3.5 minutes to go. West Ham are nearly over the line. Fabulous effort from Gary Bowyer and his team today. Walker-Peters receives that pass inside the Burton half. Back to Mavropanos. Lofted ball over the top. Sibic chases it back into his own penalty area. Goalkeeper Collins comes across to gather it. Ireland, Italy in the Six Nations. Commentary over on Sports Extra 2. Full commentary on the Calcutta Cup, Scotland, England at 4:40 on 5 Live this afternoon. Collins long ball. Disassi heads it away. Walker-Peters smashes it downfield with his right foot. 3 minutes plus added time remaining.
Yeah, and you're thinking, where's this chance going to come from? You're just going to have to keep on plugging away for these 3 minutes and just hope, really, that it can take it to extra time, because there's been opportunity there, hasn't there? They've just not really had the clear-cut edge.
Nerves have been jangling a bit at the back for West Ham. They've got a bit shaky. Burton continue to put the pressure, hope that a ball will drop for them. 2.5 minutes to go. That looks overhit. Godwin Malife will chase it at full speed. It is. Van Kook just put too much on the pass. It was the right pass through the channel, but Godwin Malife couldn't get there. Goal kick for West Ham. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 1.
Yeah, you're looking at Alphonse Areola now. He's definitely going to take more than 8 seconds for this one, with it being a goal kick. And I think within 2-3 minutes time, if West Ham see this through, they'll say thank you very much, we'll move on. But it's been a far from conclusive performance, has it?
Yeah, 10 changes to the team. West Ham haven't been great. Burton have really matched them. Freddie Potts sending off has made things interesting in the last 20 minutes of this tie, but Burton still haven't been able to find the way through, and time is fast running out for them. 4 fourth-round ties kicking off at 3 o'clock, going around the grounds on 5 Live this afternoon. Beasley into the path of Larson. Somerville tries to make the tackle. Lofthouse is here, hits the shot just wide. Agonising again for the Burton fans. Areola was just watching that ball trickle past his right-hand post. It goes behind for the West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, he knew it was going wide. Lofthouse with the opening, and you're thinking, just get a strike on target, get a good strike on, and it wasn't. Dragged it. Just as the seconds tick by, you wonder whether that's the last chance of Burton. They have put so much effort into this game, been so well organised, so well drilled. They're just falling short, aren't they?
Absolutely, they've made the most, fans, club, players, everyone, of being in the 4th round for only the 2nd time in their history. And in the FA Cup have never beaten a team from the top flight. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today, but they have come mighty close. Armour possibly with that best chance towards the end of that first period of extra time. There might be another chance. Last minute of the 15. Oh, in the second period of extra time, Godwin Malife's given the ball away. Somerville now in the left-back position for West Ham. Back to Disassi. Clears with his left foot up towards Castellanos. Plays it into midfield here. Magassa takes control for West Ham, as he has done since half-time in normal time. Somerville has the ball at his feet, casually trotting forward down the left. Burton need to get this ball back and quickly. Castellanos holds it up, goes down, wants a free kick. He's not going to get that, and he needs to get back on his feet. And Burton play it quickly forward, looking for Moon. Disasi off balance, clears. That'll go out for a throw into Burton on the right.
Yeah, Magassa's been the best player on the pitch since the start. I'm not sure anybody could put their hands up in the first half of this game, but since half-time he's just been a cut above.
2 minutes of added time. That is all that is left for League One Burton Albion to try and take this to a penalty shootout in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Their goalkeeper Bradley Collins, just inside his own half, looks up and sends this ball steepling forward, headed away by Mavropanos, nodded down by Andy Cannon. Adom takes a touch, showed too much of it to Walker Peters. He is able to clear. Sibic goes racing back into his own half. But the seconds are ticking away here. 90 seconds to play for Burton Albion. Are we going to get some late FA Cup magic in Staffordshire? Cannon makes a good run down the left, space for Adom inside the penalty, hits it while Areola makes the save, drops down inside the box. Chauke's there, left footed into the side netting, just the wrong side of the post. Probably the last chance. West Ham still lead 1-0.
Best movement of the game from Burton Albion. They saved it to the last minute. It's a good shot on target, a good save, strong shot, but back into a dangerous area. From there, Chauke just couldn't get the strike away. It's been a story of what-ifs for Burton. It's just not been enough.
They have thrown absolutely everything at it in this second period of extra time. West Ham holding on. Freddie Potts sent off late in that first period of extra time. Crescencio Somerville is going to be the saviour again if West Ham can see out 45 seconds or so here to join Chelsea and Wrexham in the 5th round draw for the FA Cup, which will be made on Monday night. Sibic on the turn inside his own half. Walker Peters comes thundering in. Larson gets there first. Last chance saloon. Oh, that's so cynical from Walker Peters. Finally we get a yellow card. He drags Larson back. Larson's annoyed, I get that, because Walker Peters is just trying to break up the game, and now it's really boiling over right at the end of the game. Kane Adom comes flying in, throws his arms quite high up on Walker Peters there, and other players sensibly step in to try and celebrate other players, and for some reason Bradley Collins, the keeper's involved with Castellanos, and everyone's losing their heads.
A really untidy end to the game. The referee's got his yellow card out ready and waiting. It could quite easily be a red. The way they're charging in, Adom, Collins, there's no need for it. It's frustration, emotion, everything. There's going to be a round of yellow cards. We've waited a long time for them.
Yeah.
But they're all coming up now.
So Walker Peters got one for the challenge. Collins gets one. Adom gets one. Castellanos, I think, is going to get one. He's trying to ignore the referee. And we are going to have one last moment of drama right at the end of this game, because Burton Albion have time to take a free kick. The goalkeeper, Bradley Collins, is forward. Of course he is. West Ham down to 10, lead 1-0. If Burton can score here, then it's going to be a penalty shootout to decide this 4th round tie. Nuno Espirito Santo can't look. Here we go. Last seconds of the game. Cannon lost the free kick forward. It's dropping inside the area. First header won by Burton. Ball drops down on the edge of the box. Knocked forward. Keeper is well out of his goal. The full-time whistle blows. And West Ham are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, thanks to their recent saviour, Crescencio Somerville, with a stunning strike in extra time. Freddie Potts with his challenge made things tricky. They went down to 10 men. Incredible effort from Burton Albion. I really felt in that second period of extra time they were going to find a way through. They didn't. And Rob Green, only the second time ever they played in the 4th round of the FA Cup, they gave that a right good go.
Yeah, fantastic effort. But the job got done in the end by the Premier League team. And it was just one moment of quality in 120 minutes. Somerville with that moment, wonderful jinking run from the touchline in the finish. Other than that, Burton matched them all the way. I have to say, it wasn't a classic in terms of quality, but in terms of tension, tightness, and story, it was there.
Took a while to get the drama, took a while to get the excitement. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed it. FA Cup 4th round Saturday is underway. No shock here. Somerville off the bench to win it with a stunner for West Ham. They're into the 5th round. Burton Albion 0, West Ham 1.